The starting lineups for today's game. Again, the Giants off to a very good start here in Arizona at 6-1 under Bruce Bochy. And here's the lineup he pencils in today. And he currently strides out towards home plate with a lineup card to meet the umpires and hand that off. It'll be Aaron Rowan, the designated hitter today. He'll be leading things off. In center field in place of Rowan and batting second, Eugenio Velez. Pablo Sandoval will be at third base. Sandoval will bat third. Aubrey Huff, a little bit of food poisoning, kept him out of action the last couple of days. He's healthy again and back in there. He'll be at first base and batting in the cleanup spot. Benji Molina does the catching. He will bat fifth. Out in right field and batting sixth, Nate Scherholtz. Juan Uribe in the lineup, batting seventh. He'll be at shortstop today. John Bowker in left field, bats eighth. And Kevin Franzen, who we've seen at first base and at second base, today he will bat ninth for the Giants. It'll be Rowan, Velez, Sandoval, Huff, Molina, Scherholtz, Uribe, Bowker, and Franzen for the Giants. For the Chicago Cubs, they're managed by Lou Piniella. He begins his fourth year at the helm of the ball club. A couple of division championships in 07 and 08 for Piniella and the Cubs. Last year, a second place finish with 83 wins. And they'll lead it off with their shortstop, Ryan Theriot. Marlon Byrd, their biggest free agent acquisition of the offseason. He will bat second today. Figures to bat lower down in the order, probably around fifth when the regular season gets going, but he'll be in center field and batting second in the order today. Derek Lee, the first baseman, he'll bat third. Another terrific year for Lee last year. Aramis Ramirez, the third baseman, will be in the cleanup spot. Xavier Nady, off of a second Tommy John surgery, getting his first Cactus League action of the year. He'll be at DH today and will bat fifth. Alfonso Soriano out in left field, bats sixth. The second baseman, Jeff Baker, bats seventh. Doing the catching and batting eighth, Coy Hill. And Jim Adducci out in right field will bat ninth. It is Theriot, Byrd, Lee, Ramirez, Nady, Soriano, Baker, Hill, and Adducci for the Cubs. Again, the starting pitching matchup today, a good one. Carlos Zambrano, he'll be the opening day starter if all goes according to plan for Lou Piniella and the Cubs this year. Coming off something of a down year last year in which he missed a number of starts. He was twice on the DL last year. Ended up making just 28 starts, a final record of 9-7 with a 3.77 ERA. But when he's healthy, one of the game's best. He makes his second start of the Cactus League. He went 2 innings, allowing no runs and striking out 1 back on March 5th. And for the Giants, Jonathan Sanchez, he'll be a big part of the Giants' story again this year. He, too, makes his second start of the spring. 2 innings of scoreless baseball, allowing 3 hits, striking out 3, but walking 3 in his spring debut last Saturday against Arizona. And Sanchez, of course, he had the no-hitter last year, and then a terrific second half in which his ERA was under 4, and he went 5-4 overall last year, 8 wins against 12 losses. For the Giants, left-hander who figures to slot in number 4 in their starting rotation. The Cubs in their regular home white uniforms with the pinstripes and the Cubs logo along the left side of the front part of the uniform. A traditional look, and they are sporting those today here in the spring contest. The Giants with their black pullover batting practice jerseys with Giants in orange across the front, names and numbers in orange on the back, and the gray pant legs as well. And so both teams ready to go as Zambrano firing through his warm-up tosses, and the infielders and outfielders warming up as well. And we'll turn it over now to Doug Greenwald, who'll bring you the play-by-play action.
All right, Rocky, thank you. Again, beautiful day for baseball here in Mesa. Giants' only trip this spring to Mesa, and I guess somewhat indicative because the Giants and Cubs don't see each other this year until August. They only meet twice, one at each place, Mesa and Scottsdale in spring training. Giants and Cubs don't get together until August 9th at the AT&T Park. And the Giants make one trip to Wrigley this year in the regular season, not until the second to final week of September.
And I would assume that both clubs are hoping those are very important games when you get into the latter part of September. But, yeah, a bit of a scheduling oddity, and that these two storied franchises won't get together for the better part of the season into the late part of summer.
All right, well, set to go here. I mentioned much nicer today because of the clear skies. still a bit crisp, 55 degrees, but a lot more comfortable today than it was yesterday with the cold and rain around the valley. Here we go, Aaron Rowan, Eugenio Velez, and Pablo Sandoval to face Carlos Zambrano, whose first pitch of the ball game was a fastball taken down the middle, 0-1. And we are underway from Mesa, the 0-1 to Rowan, swinging a high pop-up back of the plate. The catcher, Coy Hill, over near the Giants' dugout, crashes into the little staircase between the warning track and the stands. I say crashes into, I don't mean literally, but runs into it. And the ball lands foul. And the count is at no balls and 2 strikes. Carlos Zambrano, 6'5", 260 pounds. He'll be 29 on the 1st of June from Venezuela. 9-7 last year with the Cubs in 28 appearances, all as a starter. Zambrano's been with the Cubs since 2001. Outfield straightaway, not terribly deep, and Rowan is swinging a miss with a fastball for strike 3, and he is out. So Zambrano still has his way against Rowan. Aaron Rowan in 10 at-bats, and I'm speaking of the regular season here, has never had a base hit against Zambrano, 0-for-10 in regular season games, and Zambrano, in a way, keeps that streak going.
Yeah, a little bit overmatched there, especially after falling behind 0-2, a high heater, and Rowan right through it. Rowan started the bottom of the first yesterday in similar fashion, striking out in 3 pitches, but otherwise off to a good start this spring.
So now here's Velez, and he grounds this one to second base, right at Baker, and Jeff Baker's throw to the first baseman, and Derek Lee in time gets Velez. Baker, a guy that I saw a lot in Colorado Springs. He came up with the Rockies and was a third baseman, big power-hitting third baseman. But last year, after getting sent to the Cubs, Baker played a lot of second base. Last year played just over 100 games at second, played 101 to be exact. All Venezuelan matchup here. Pablo Sandoval, Carlos Zambrano should be a pretty good matchup here. Good pitching, good hitting, and the pitch on the way to the Panda. Strike 1 called to the switch hitter, batting left-handed, 0-1. Zambrano, a fastball that'll top out at about 94. Comes right back, and a fastball there is up and away to Pablo, and the count is at a ball and a strike. Sandoval off to a 286 clip in the infancy of spring training. He does have 4 RBIs. Now I realize Sandoval, not a lot of major league experience, just a little over a year, but he's 0-for-4 lifetime against Zambrano. The pitch here, tapped back of the mound, back of the second base bag, but to his left, Terrio, and the shortstop sort of in time retires Sandoval, and Carlos Zambrano is successful. First inning, Giants go 1-2-3 after half an inning in Mesa today. Giants nothing, and the Cubs coming up on sfgiants.com.
Giants fans, single game tickets are on sale now at sfgiants.com. Where else would they be on sale? The Giants official website. A terrific promotional schedule this season. So make your plans early to attend your favorite events. 6 bobblehead giveaways, including 3 that you definitely don't want to miss. Pablo Sandoval on April 24th. The Catch, Willie Mays, May 16th. And a 2-time Cy Young Award bobblehead giveaway, Tim Lincecum, July 17th. Selected games start as low as $5 per ticket, but prices can change, so buy early, lock in your prices, and save. Check out all the great Giants promotional information this year and purchase your tickets at sfgiants.com.
On the mound today for the San Francisco Giants is left-hander Jonathan Sanchez. Giants nothing, and the Cubs coming up. Sanchez will be 28 in November from Puerto Rico, and this is his second appearance of the spring. Ryan Terrio, Marlon Byrd, Derek Lee get things started for the Cubbies in 3-2 so far in spring training action. And Terrio to, like I said, get it going for the Cubs. Well, Ryan Theriot, amongst many of the Cub regulars in the lineup today, and a guy who last season had a 2-run homer against Jonathan Sanchez. The pitch on the way, and that's taken for a strike on the inside corner. The count is at no balls and a strike. Game that was played at Wrigley Field. Theriot taking Sanchez deep. Jonathan winds and the pitch, and Theriot takes a fastball outside. Ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Not sure who. I'd have to think the pitcher would remember that more than in the batter. 1 ball, 1 strike pitch. Theriot takes a curve low. Ball 2, 2-1.
Well, you'd hope so, too. You want to have a long memory when you're a pitcher and understand what worked, what didn't, and make the adjustments necessary. That's true of both pitcher and hitter.
Pitch on the way to Theriot, and that swung on, golfed in the air, foul right side. And the count is at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Theriot grew up in Baton Rouge, and saw him in the Cubs dugout before the game, and just he knew that I was involved with the Giants, and said to me, "Hey, did Will Clark make the trip?" And if he did, if you go over there, send him over here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 0-0, bottom of the first. The pitch on the way, and that's whacked into right center field. A base hit for Ryan Theriot. To his left to pick the ball up to center fielder Velez. And Theriot gets the Cubs' first inning, commenced with a hit. Well, anyway, Will Clark, like Theriot, a Baton Rouge resident. Clark grew up in New Orleans, but moved to Baton Rouge, and saw the two of them engaged in a long talk before the game. Clark down here is a special assistant in baseball operations. Always fun to catch up with Will, whose birthday will be this Saturday.
Happy birthday to one of the great Giants.
Am I getting older, or is it hard to believe Will Clark's going to be 46?
Both.
Theriot at first base, good speed, and he draws a throw over there, and Huff there to take the throw. Cubs third base coach is Mike Quaddy, longtime baseball man who managed in the Cubs chain, longtime first base coach with the Oakland Athletics as well. Theriot at first, and now Marlon Byrd, and he takes high ball 1, and the count is at 1 ball and no strikes. The first base coach, former Cub and Philly, and for a very brief time Giant shortstop back in 1987, Avonde Jesus, longtime player in the major leagues. No question that Lou Piniella, the Cubs manager, stacks himself with fellow veterans on his coaching list. The pitch on the way to Byrd, lifted in the air, foul right side, and the count is at 1 ball and 1 strike to one of the new Chicago Cubs, and Marlon Byrd, who spent the last 3 seasons with Texas, and that has been hurt over the last few years, but Byrd had a torn meniscus a couple of years ago in his left knee. Hoping that will subside and contribute to the Cubbies. Lead at first again by Theriot, and Byrd is swinging and missing a fastball. Strike 2, and the count is at 1-2. Byrd came up with the Phils, spent some time with Washington and with Texas. Needs 3 more home runs to make it 100 in his career. As I said, most of the Cubs regulars in the lineup today with Theriot and Byrd and Lee and Ramirez. And then we'll see Xavier Nadian the first time for the Cubs. And Nady missed much of last year with Tommy John surgery. Nady's undergone a pair of Tommy John surgeries.
And obviously difficult enough to come back from just one. But for Nady, right now he's not quite there with the throwing motion, and as a result, getting his first action today as a DH.
And Theriot at first, and for a moment, caught leading the wrong way and eventually was picked off. Well, Theriot was caught leading the wrong way, and then I thought he was going to get back. And according to the first base umpire, Dana DeMuth, he didn't get back in time. 1-3 on the pickoff. So after throwing over there, Sanchez finally gets him. So now he can concentrate just on Byrd. 0-0, Giants Cubs. Bottom of the first, Sanchez right back. Fastball lifted high and foul by Byrd. 1-2.
Well, that ability to control a running game can be so very important for a pitcher, and it's especially helpful, or can be, for a left-handed pitcher, and something that Sanchez has not done a great job of in the past. But if you can keep speedy base runners at first on occasion, help yourself in an out like that, it can be a huge way to lead to success.
Bird swings and pokes this one in the air toward the line on the right. Sherholtz giving his knee a test and in fair territory toward the line and right. Nate Sherholtz puts it away. 2 down. Nothing. Here in the bottom of the first, Greenwald Rocky Conflict with you. Here's Derek Lee. Mentioned Nate Sherholtz and his knee. Now, a couple days ago, it was on that Sunday during the rainout. Nate was getting some hacks in one of the auxiliary cages. And he fouled the ball off his back knee, which is his left knee for a left-handed batter. And that sidelined Nate the last couple of days. Now here's Derek Lee, and he takes a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. So good to see Sherholtz back. And Aubrey Huff was missed the last couple of days, and originally it was just mentioned as an undisclosed illness, but we found out today it was food poisoning. The 0-1 to the big right-handed batter, and Lee taken low, 1-1. So I'm not going to ask Huff where he's been eating. Or maybe I should, so I don't go there. But
it might be a good idea. Avoid whatever that was.
Following a strike to count to Lee. Sanchez winds and the pitch, and Derek takes high ball 2. And the count is a 2 balls and a strike. So Ramirez in the lineup today. He's on deck. And mentioned you have Terrio in there, Lee, Mike Fontenot not in the lineup today. That's why Jeff Baker, more than likely, is going to serve as a utility infielder, getting the start at second base today for the Cubs. Ramirez waits on deck. Sanchez feet spread apart. Out of the windup and the 2-1 pitch, and D. Lee, as they call him here, big swing and miss at a fastball, strike 2, 2-2. And Alfonso Soriano in the lineup today. Bird expected to be the everyday center fielder. Fukudome not in the lineup today, but he'll more than likely be in right. So some changes to the Cubs heading into this year. The 2-ball, 2-strike pitch. Fastball high, ball 3, 3-2. Cubs last year finished 83-78. 7.5 back in second place behind the St. Louis Cardinals. And a lot of people think the NL Central this year is going to be pretty close, although most people predicting the Cardinals will win it. And have a tough time disagreeing with that. 3-2 on the way, and Lee a swing and a miss. Breaking ball down and then gets him for strike 3, and he is out. First strikeout for Sanchez, a hit, and no one left. Done with 1 in Mesa. No score, Giants and Cubs on sfgiants.com.
Fans, stay connected with the Giants all season long. Follow the Giants' official Twitter account and become a fan on Facebook. Check it all out at sfgiants.com/connect. Again, more ways than ever to stay connected with the Giants. sfgiants.com/connect to sign up.
Aubrey Huff signs up to start the second inning, and the left-handed batter takes up and away, ball 1. And the count is at a ball, no strikes. It'll be Huff, Molina, and Sherholtz for the Giants. Again, despite both National League teams going at it today, both will use the designated hitter as Huff takes inside, ball 2. 2-0. Tim Flannery is the Giants' third base coach, and over at first base is Roberto Kelly. So Huff, 1 home run so far. The first pitch he saw as a Giant last Wednesday in Peoria against the Mariners, and he swings and moves this one toward the line and left. That's going to fall in for a hit. Soriano to his right near the line. He's going to pick it up. Huff trying for two. The throw, the slide, and Huff is safe. Throw taken right in front of the bag by the Cubs second baseman Baker. It's Aubrey Huff. Normally we say when a guy comes back, testing his knee, testing his ankle. There, I guess, testing his stomach after the bout with food poisoning. And he opens it with a double. Folks, I'm sure we've all been there. No fun to have that. So I don't mean that in a joking way, but good to see in his first at bat after a few days without seeing pitching such as a guy like Zambrano. He connects for a double. Now here's Benji Molina. Has a home run this spring, a couple of RBIs, and Zambrano delivers, swinging a ground ball to second base, gobbled up by Baker. He'll throw Molina out at first with plenty to spare, but Benji Molina, we've seen this a little bit of the last few days, the Giants cracking down a little bit, just getting the ball simply to the opposite side.
Well, Benji, an RBI guy and hitting in an RBI spot, so his thought is to drive in a run, but certainly if that's not going to happen, he wants to move the runner along, and now we'll see if Nate Scherholz can get the job done, charged with the task of bringing home a runner from third with less than two down. Looks like the Cubs are going to shorten up in the middle of the infield, play about halfway, and in near the grass at the corners.
Scherholz, again, first game back after missing the last couple with a left knee injury, and he pops this one up very softly to the right side, and it's going to be the first baseman Lee back of the bag, almost toward second, to make the catch. So Nate unable to get the job done there. Two out, one on, no score, and here is Juan Uribe. Rocky mentioned Zambrano and the success he had, success that he's had throughout much of his career. Zambrano last season, 9-7 year, but Zambrano has won as many as 18 games. 5 times in his major league career, he has won at least 13 games. And last time he saw the Giants had quite a game as Juan Uribe takes a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. September 25th, Zambrano and Tim Lincecum squared off in San Francisco. Zambrano a complete game, 2-hit shutout. He struck out 8 and beat the Giants that day 3-0. Uribe is swinging a ground ball to third, snagged by Ramirez, and he fires across the lead to get Uribe. And that completes the top of the second inning. Boy, all or nothing play there by Aramis Ramirez. Boy, just whacked, snapped at that ball, and we'll complete the story on Zambrano when we come back in the bottom of the second. Giants waste the leadoff double, and they leave one. An inning and a half on the books today from Mesa. Giants nothing, and the Cubs nothing on sfgiants.com.
Can't wait for the 2010 season to begin? Well, you're certainly not alone. One way to cure that ailment, subscribe to MLB.TV today and get over 150 select spring training games and every regular season game live or on demand on your computer. With MLB.TV Premium, you can enjoy HD quality home and away coverage and the ability to pause and rewind live games. Find out more details and order today at sfgiants.com. Baseball everywhere at MLB.TV.
No score. Giants Cubs heading to the bottom of the second. Doug Greenwald, Rocky Koplik with you. And feel free to join us online. Giants Webcasts, plural on both. Giants Webcasts at AOL.com. Aramis Ramirez leads it off, and he looks at a strike on the outside corner from Jonathan Sanchez, 0-1. Ramirez, Nady, and Soriano, middle third of the Cubs order. Outfield medium, depth, and straight away. Sanchez working quickly in the 0-1 pitch, and Ramirez a pop-up foul right side 0-2. So we're talking about Carlos Zambrano last year against the Giants, September 25th. A 2-hit complete game shutout at AT&T Park beat Tim Lincecum 3-0. Zambrano almost faced the minimum. He gave up 2 hits and walked 1, so really just 3 over the minimum. Out of the windup, Sanchez on the pitch. Ramirez a swing and a miss at a fastball in the inner half of the plate, and he is out. Second strikeout for Sanchez. 1 away. Here's Xavier Nady. So there are 2 Giants in that game that got hits against Zambrano. You remember who they were?
I do not, Doug.
Juan Uribe and Tim Lincecum were the only 2 Giants to get a hit off Zambrano that day. And then the only other Giant to reach base off Zambrano was Randy Wynn, who drew a walk. So now here is Nady, first at bat as a Cub. Sanchez kicks and delivers, and the Cal product, and Nady takes low outside, 1-0.
Well, Tim Lincecum was asked recently how he was going to follow up consecutive Cy Young campaigns, and I thought he gave a pretty funny answer when he said, hit a home run, his first ever. Like to do that.
Outfield around to the right, and the 1-0 to Nady, low and in for a ball. And the count is at 2 balls and no strikes.
But that kind of offense out of the pitcher spot, that's no laughing matter to Carlos Zambrano, the Silver Slugger award winner at that position for a 3rd time this past year. And he's probably the only person in either dugout that's unhappy that they're playing with a DH today. He had 4 home runs last year. He can swing the bat.
Has 20 for his career. I know a few of them are pinch hit home runs. 2 ball, no strike pitch, fastball. The Nady swung on and foul tipped into the glove of the catcher Molina, 2-1. In fact, that game that Zambrano, the one we were talking about, where he beat Lincecum, that was the first game that Buster Posey ever started in his big league career. 2 balls and a strike to count. Sanchez comes back, and Nady takes up and away. 3-1, and Zambrano got Posey twice that day. Zambrano mentioned 8 strikeouts. And got Posey a couple times, got Aaron Rowan a couple times, but you get the idea. 3 balls and a strike to count on the pitch, and that swung on and lined into right field. A base hit for Nady. Down to his left knee to pick up the ball, Shearholtz. So hopefully for Xavier Nady's case, there'll be more of those to come. Maybe not against the Giants, but against other teams. And Nady, mentioned his time at Cal, came up to the big leagues with the San Diego Padres, and then really, I guess you could say, got more of a taste of the big leagues with Pittsburgh, and then on to the Yankees after that. Nady played just 7 games last year. A guy that certainly has a lot of power. Well, so does this man, and Alfonso Soriano. Nady at first base, being held on by Huff, for the pitch to Soriano is outside, ball 1-1-0. Giants nothing, Cubs nothing. Bottom of the second. Last time we saw Soriano face the Giants in Mesa, Tim Lincecum started the game here last year, and Soriano hit the first pitch he saw against Lincecum for a home run. Leading off the bottom of the first, Soriano hitting 6th this afternoon, the 1-0 on the way, and that's popped up foul right side, 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, you talk about the National League Central this year, and as you mentioned, the Cardinals expected by many to be the favorites in that division. The Brewers have improved themselves, especially as it concerns their pitching, to complement a terrific lineup. But for the Cubs, the story really, whether it's Soriano or Zambrano or Ramirez, is kind of the same. Stay healthy and kind of have a rebound year.
Now, Soriano missed part of last year with some knee ailments, and he takes inside ball 2-1, 117 games last year. Just a 241 average for Soriano. You mentioned injury problems for the Cubs, and I realize all teams have them. The Giants certainly have gone through that so far this spring with DeRosa and Freddie Sanchez and Shearholtz a little bit, and Emmanuel Burris now. Line and the 2-1 on the way. Big curve, and Soriano well in front of it. Doesn't get it. Strike 2-2. Ted Lilly, Cubs pitcher, rehabbing from arthroscopic surgery to his left shoulder. And early today, had another session off the mound, and feels that soon that he's going to be able to start pitching again. 2 ball, 2 strike pitch to Soriano, swung on, swat in the air, foul right side. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lilly threw about 35 pitches today in I guess you could say a simulated game, or just throwing off the mound. said, Lily, I'm going to try and get out there and compete soon. At the end of the day, it's the Cubs' call, but I'd certainly like to face some competition. Lily's not projected to join the Cubs rotation until mid-April or maybe as late as early May. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. Nady at first base, a small lead, and the pitch on the way to Soriano. Curve in the dirt, big swing and a miss for strike 3, and he is out. Third strikeout now for Sanchez. Out number 2, and now here's Jeff Baker.
Well, whenever a player is injured, and it's probably especially true when you're talking about a pitcher, there's always the thought from the player's perspective that they're raring to go. They want to get out there and contribute again and prove that they're healthy, but it's the responsibility of the training staff, the manager, to rein in that enthusiasm, and they'll be careful with Lily. He's a big part of what they need to do in the coming year. Cubs right now have some questions surrounding their pitching.
Here's Jeff Baker, and the pitch on the way is low and in, ball 1. 1-0. We'll touch on that pitching in a moment, but Jeff Baker, guy that really dealt the Giants a pretty damaging blow last year for any playoff hope they had. A home run with 2 out in the 9th inning, capping a 3-run 9th at AT&T Park. Took Brian Wilson deep in a pinch hitting appearance late September. The 1-0 here, tapped back to the mound, on the hill to grab it. Sanchez, easy overhand rainbow toss from the mound to the first baseman. Huff retires Baker, and the Cubs done in the second. 1 hit, 1 left after 2 from Cam. Giants and Cubs, 0-0. Single game tickets are on sale now at sfgiants.com. Fantastic promotional schedule this season, so plan now to attend your favorite events. 6 bobblehead giveaways this season. That includes Tim Lincecum, Willie Mays, The Catch, and Pablo Sandoval. Selected games start as low as $5 per ticket. For more information, go to sfgiants.com.
All right, top of the third. Giants and Cubs still no score, and Carlos Zambrano, the powerful right-handed pitcher, back to the mound, and his first pitch of the inning is a fastball high and away to John Bowker. Bowker off to a very good start this spring as he stands in and takes one away again, and the count now 2-0. Zambrano has not had to work much in the early going here. Consecutive 7-pitch innings. Through 2 innings, he had only thrown 3 pitches out of the strike zone, and now behind Bowker, 2-0. So Bowker leading it off. And the pitch on the way, and Bowker taking again, and looked like a slider there, in for a strike on the inside corner. Kevin Franzen on deck, and then back to the top of the Giants order with Aaron Rowan scheduled to bat third here in the third. Bowker swings and hits it sharply through the right side of the infield. Baker a step to his left, but he had to watch it go into right, where it's played by Adduci, and back into the infield from the Cubs right fielder. But Bowker sharply hit single to lead off the inning.
Bowker played in that game against Zambrano last year, and I guess it was a minor victory despite going 0-4. At least he didn't strike out.
Sounds like on that day, putting the ball in play, an accomplishment. Bowker at first, Kevin Franzen standing in from the right side. Franzen swings at the first pitch and chops it foul just to the left of Bruce Bochy.
You know, Rocky, we were talking last thing about the Cubs pitching staff, and with Ted Lilly more than likely going to be starting the year on the disabled list, Zambrano, still a pretty good top two, even minus Lilly. You have Zambrano and Ryan Dempster. And then Lou Piniella saying, well, there's still some battles.
Branson swings here, and he chops it on the left side of the infield, and it'll get past Terrio into left. So back-to-back hits to begin the Giants' third as Bowker moves to second and stops there with Soriano getting the ball back in. So Branson a single in the bottom part of the Giants' order, setting the table here in the third inning.
The Cubs went out and they get former Pirate Tom Gorzolani, got him last year. Carlos Silva coming over from Seattle. So they'll likely fit in that rotation. And there's a possibility that Jeff Smarja might get a look in the rotation sometime this year.
Giants with two aboard. Aaron Rowan struck out on 3 pitches his first time up, and he swings through a fastball here. He's behind 0-1. The Cubs acquiring Carlos Silva in a trade that really kind of exchanged two guys who had really underperformed against big contracts for their teams. Milton Bradley sent west to Seattle. Silva coming to the Cubs. The pitch and a swing. Rowan a little bit late as he fists one down the right field line into the third row of seats down that way. And Rowan heading back in the direction of the dugout. He broke his bat. So he'll get a new one behind in the count 0-2. No score. 2 on for the Giants. Nobody out here in the third inning. Silva really just 2 very difficult years in Seattle, and got off to a difficult start this spring as well, as he was knocked around by the White Sox in his first spring outing. So Cubs are hoping for the best with Silva. Count 0-2, the pitch, and Rowan takes outside. The count now 1-2. Certainly the Cubs rotation last year getting a very big boost, somewhat unexpectedly, out of the rookie Randy Wells, a right-handed pitcher who came up early part of the year and became a mainstay, pitched very well. A 1-2 on the way, and Rowan swings and again fouls it. This one chopped towards the Giants' dugout, caroms off the top of the dugout, and then bounds its way, almost like a pebble being skipped along the water as it made its way through the first dozen or so rows of seats behind the dugout and finally into a fan's hand.
And also left-hander Sean Marshall, who primarily was out of the bullpen, but did make 9 starts last year.
Count 1-2. The pitch. Rowan swings, and again, this time a better cut, fouls it back into the screen. So proving to be a difficult out after falling behind, as Rowan will see a 6th pitch in this at-bat. Count still 1-2.
By using the DH, Rowan, obviously it's not going to be his role. Even during interleague games, being the DH, at least probably not.
1-2 on the way, and a breaking ball, missing badly outside to even the count.
But despite all of his years in the American League with the White Sox, Rowan has only started 1 game in his major league career as the designated hitter, and he did that as a Giant 2 years ago in an interleague game at Cleveland, June 24th of 2008.
So Aaron Rowan, the designated hitter, awaits the 2-2, and he swings at a breaking ball, and just off the end of the bat, he kind of cues it up the first baseline. Foul past Roberto Kelly. Kelly very slowly walking over to the ball and now tosses it to a young man wearing a Cincinnati Reds cap in the stands. Reds, as we talked about a couple of times this week, in their first year here in the Cactus League. 2-2, still the count on Rowan as this at-bat continues on. And the pitch. And Rowan swings. He loops it out towards right field. It's going to dunk in for a hit in front of Ducey, who charges to pick it up. Giants will all move up 90 feet as Bowker is held at third by Flannery. And so 3 consecutive hits to begin the third, all of them singles. The Giants have them loaded with nobody out.
I'm sure for Rowan that's got to feel good, not only battling Zambrano, but knowing that he can at least get a hit off Zambrano. As you mentioned, Zambrano's success in the regular season against Rowan, coming in 0 for 10. And again, I know the game doesn't count, but it might count for Rowan sometime during the season that, hey, I finally got to this guy. And
a very nice at-bat, falling behind in the count. And coming through, several pitches later with a hit. Now Velez standing in and takes the first pitch, fastball strike. And for Rowan, in a new role this year, leading off, so he's going to have those types of grinding at-bats where he manages to put the ball in play with 2 strikes and see what can happen, try to get aboard. Velez behind in the count, 0-1. The pitch and a swing and a chopper foul, and another Giant now behind 0-2 as that one split first base, and the first base coach, Roberto Kelly. Giants now with 4 hits to the Cubs 2. Still no score, top of the third. Talked about the fact that the Cubs, the longest standing relationship here with Mesa in the Cactus League. The pitch on the way, and it's in the dirt. Count 1-2.
And they're trying to keep it that way. We talked about that before the game today. The Ricketts family just having purchased the Cubs within the last year, and they're connected to the Naples, Florida area. And Naples, pretty good sized area that does not have a Grapefruit League team.
Velez hitting from the left side, the pitch on the way, and he swings at a fastball, just gets a piece of it, dribbling it foul along the third base side. Count still 1-2.
Well, the Dodgers left Vero. The Indians at one time left Tucson after 40-plus years. Sometimes those things happen, and we'll see what changes the new ownership of the Cubs have in mind.
Well, they explored the option in Florida and certainly have talked often to the officials here in Mesa. The 1-2 on the way, and that one pushes Velez off the plate. Actually, it hit him on the jersey, and so on a 1-2 pitch, Velez hit by the pitch, although I don't really think it made contact with him per se, but it got his uniform, and that will force in a run as Bowker comes home. Giants still with the bases loaded, an RBI for Velez, and a 1-0 lead for the Giants.
Why do I have a feeling that if this is the regular season, Mr. Piniella might say something?
Yeah, and he probably wouldn't be alone. I think Carlos Zambrano as well, who has at times had a kind of battle with his emotions, sometimes battle with the Gatorade cooler in the dugout as well, as sometimes he lets it get the better of him. So now Pablo Sandoval standing in a first pitch in the dirt. Fastball, and it's 1-0. In any case, it seems as if, in all likelihood, if things go according to plan now, as Coy Hill out to the mound to talk to Zambrano, as things not going well for him here in the third after a couple of very easy innings in the first 2 innings. It seems as if things are lining up for the Cubs to stay in Mesa. A new facility is being contemplated, and the big question, as is always the case with these things, is financing. So we'll see how it all comes together, but certainly a lot of Cubs fans in this area want to see the Cubs stay in Arizona. The pitch, and that one's well off the plate outside. Zambrano wants a new baseball as Sandoval ahead in the count 2-0.
I mean, Cubs fans are everywhere. There's no doubt about that. I mean, they'll be glad to leave Chicago this time of year to head down to, you could put the Cubs in Nome, Alaska, and there would be people that would go to spring training to see them.
Here's a pitch on the way, and Sandoval swings. He drives it deep to right field. That ball carrying well, and it is gone. Pablo Sandoval with a grand slam home run off Zambrano, and the Giants have scored 5 in the inning. They lead it 5-0. Not much doubt about that one off the bat as it carries well over the fence. Maybe about 30 feet or so fair inside the right field foul pole, and kind of a 2-tiered bullpen setup out in right field with the Cubs coming first. The Giants set up a little bit higher and beyond that, and just to the right of the Giants bullpen, Sandoval with the grand slam. And now Aubrey Huff swinging at the first pitch, and he hits a high fly ball deep to right. This one looks like it'll stay in the park as Adduci, backpedaling along the warning track, makes the catch. And finally, the first out of the third inning.
Well, got to feel good for Pablo, his first home run of the spring. Wasting little time getting out of there. And Zambrano a little amped up, I think upset after hitting Velez, or not really hitting Velez, but still hitting Velez, and came right into the Panda.
On a 2-0 pitch, as the first breaking ball here to Molina is low, 1-0.
Well, Well, back-to-back games the Giants have had here in Mesa going back to last year.
And now again a 2-0 count as Molina takes a fastball low and in.
Where a Giant has hit a grand slam. Last March, Nick Noonan in the 9th inning came up and hit an opposite field grand slam.
2-0 is a fastball strike to Benji, now 2-1.
Noonan, the young prospect, was at San Jose last year, and the second baseman. 9th inning, Cubs were up by 2. Giants are down to their last strike, and Nick Noonan hits a grand slam.
And now Molina checks his swing, and it just got a piece of the bat as it bounces back behind home.
You think of dramatic moments for the Giants against the Cubs in grand slams, and the man that's in the Giants dugout today, Will Clark, had a grand slam off Greg Maddux in Game 1 of the NLCS in '89.
3-1 pitch on the way, or excuse me, 2-2. Scoreboard has it wrong. The 2-2 is a fastball that misses low and away, so now the count has run full. Speaking of Greg Maddux, he's actually back with the Cubs organization, hired as a special assistant to the general manager and trying to work his way back into the game. Certainly a lot of valuable experience there. The pitch on the way, Benji chops it up the third baseline foul. Flannery fields and tosses into the crowd.
Back, talk about Cy Young Award winners and the Cubs. Rick Sutcliffe, a guest instructor in spring training. He's in the dugout today for Chicago. Took out the lineup card.
And the payoff pitch, a breaking ball outside. So Zambrano stays away from the fastball on the 3-2 pitch, and he walks Molina. And we'll get a visit to the mound now.
As John Grabo begins to get loose in the Cubs bullpen, but thought about that today when I saw Will, and I always think of that series that Will had against the Cubs in '89. You know, were 600 in that 5-game pennant-deciding series in '89, but that grand slam off Greg Maddux setting the tone for Will. And ball that I think is still traveling somewhere out behind that fence in right field at Wrigley.
Well, the Giants have been fortunate to have Will Clark around the ballpark at AT&T Park a lot more the last year plus. Pitch on the way to Nate Sherholt standing in, and he takes one outside, a fastball, 1-0. Clark not only very valuable to have around the dugout, the young players can pick his brain, but also he's just terrific with the fans, a great personality. The pitch on the way, and it's low and outside, and the count 2-0. Well, we didn't see this coming. Zambrano threw the first 2 innings, 14 pitches total, 11 strikes. He had struck out 1. Giants had a softly hit looping double from Aubrey Huff, but other than that, everything on the infield, Zambrano was in control. The pitch on the way, Sherhold's swing, bounces it up the middle. It's going to get through into center field. Yet another hit for the Giants against Zambrano here in the third, as Molina stops at second. Juan Uribe due up. There's only 1 out of the inning. Uribe, the 9th man to bat already, and see how much longer the Cubs will go with Zambrano here in just his second spring start of the year. Uribe grounded out to third his first time up, and he takes a strike. It's 0-1. You mentioned earlier, Doug, that Will Clark here today, another Giant alumni who helps out at spring training here, drawing a lot of notice as the pitch to Uribe is in the dirt. That one bounced well in front of home plate to even the count at 1-1. A fastball from Zambrano. Well, Sean Dunston, a very popular Cubs player, also very popular with the Giants, part of that National League championship team in 2002 with San Francisco. The pitch on the way, and a swing and a chopper out to short. Terrio has it. He goes to second for 1. The return throw to first. Dug out very neatly by Derek Lee on a ball that was very much an in-between hop, bouncing a few feet in front of him. But Lee, one of the best over at first base, makes the play to record the double play and to end the inning, as finally Zambrano able to work through the third. But the Giants, they score 5 times, highlighted by the grand slam home run by Pablo Sandoval, and we'll head to the home half when we come back. The Giants leading the Cubs 5-0. Back live in Mesa as the Giants take a 5-0 lead now into the bottom half of the third inning, and back to the mound, Jonathan Sanchez. Sanchez, by my unofficial count, at 30 pitches through 2 innings. He's allowed a pair of hits. He has struck out 3. And he'll face the 8th place hitter, Coy Hill, the Cubs' backup catcher, to lead things off. And a first pitch fastball from Sanchez rides high, and the count 1-0. Jim Adduci and then Ryan Theriot to follow here in the Cubs' third. The pitch. And a fastball just off the outside corner. It's now 2-0.
You're talking about Coy Hill, the backup catcher, and again, all the injuries the Cubs had last year. Giovanni Soto, the everyday catcher, former NL Rookie of the Year in 08, missed a lot of last year with a mild oblique strain.
And Hill swinging at a 2-0 pitch, pops it foul off the first base side.
Missed a good chunk. Missed a month of the season. McCoy Hill, think about being pressed into service, started at one point while, again, filling in for Soto, 26 straight games for a catcher.
Imagine that with all the wear and tear, 26 in a row. The 2-1 on the way is on the outside corner. Called strike, 2-2.
He was the first Cubs catcher to start at least 26 games in a row since Jody Davis started 38 straight in 1986.
It's really incredible. You usually don't see a catcher go a week straight. Usually get a day off in there. The pitch on the way, and that one is inside, so the count is run full. And for Hill, who had gotten a little bit of time with the Cubs in 07, 08, last year his best offensive year. So he's securely planted in that backup role. The 3-2 on the way, and a swing and a pop-up foul out of play off to our right. If you wonder where we are, we're just offset a little bit on the first base side behind home plate. On this sunny day, the entire field lit up in sunshine, and that is true also of the first 15 or so rows of the ballpark, and then back behind that, shadows. The pitch, a swing and a pop-up. This one is on the first base side. Huff shading his eyes. Now he'll give way to the second baseman, Franzen, angling over with a better look at it. And Franzen, as he nears the foul line, about 10 feet behind the infield dirt, makes the catch. Hill is retired. Speaking of Soto, another guy, again, the list is long. When you talk about Cubs who had big expectations going into last year, who underperformed or got hurt and are hoping for a rebound year, Soto, the Rookie of the Year 2 years ago, as Adduci stands in and takes a fastball on the outside corner for a strike. So Soto came into camp, they say he's 40 pounds lighter. Very significant off-season training program. The 0-1 on the way. That one misses outside, 1-1. I overheard him doing an interview near the dugout before the game, and I think he said he was trying to put on a few pounds now, preparing for the rigors of catching throughout a big league season.
Bill Zambrano lost some weight, too.
1-1 on the way. Swing and a chopper that is foul as it kicks off the baseline dirt and then towards the coach's box. Huff picks it up and tosses it into the crowd.
Zambrano looked like he lost about another 10, 15 pounds.
We should find out what they're doing.
Don't ask Aubrey Huff where he, or ask him where he eats, but also ask Zambrano and Soto.
So 1-2 on the way, and a swing and a foul. This one off the left field side, carrying well out beyond the stands and towards the parking area. So the count's still 1-2. Well, wouldn't be surprised if over the course of the last couple of days, Aubrey Huff with that food poisoning lost a few pounds, but that's not the way you want to go about it. A 1-2 on the way, and a swing and a miss. Good fastball up in the zone, and yet another strikeout for Sanchez, who now has 4 and has retired 4 in a row. 2 down, nobody on. Giants with a 5-0 lead. Home half of the third, and back to the top of the order now for Ryan Theriot.
Theriot and Mike Fontenot make up that middle infield positions for the Cubs, both former teammates at LSU.
And the pitch on the way is a fastball. That's across the letters for a called strike. 0-1. Sanchez looking for a 1-2-3 inning as he rocks back into the line. Terrio shows bunt, and he brought the bat back and took it low. So the count even at 1-1 now. Marlon Byrd on deck.
Terrio, guy whose first major league home run came against the Giants back in 2006. Noah Lowry giving it up.
A pitch on the way and a swing and a line drive. This one's going to drop in for a base hit into right field. Sherholtz down to a knee to pick it up and get it back in. Lofts a throw on one hop to Uribe covering at second. Terrio now 2 for 2. 2 hits into right field. Terrio in the first inning was picked off of first by Sanchez. Sanchez showing some of his competitive streak as he works here in this second Cactus League start. A little frustrated giving up that 2-out hit. He slammed the rosin bag a moment ago at the back part of the mound. Now working out of the stretch as he leans in for a sign and will make his first pitch to Marlon Byrd. And it's on the way and a strike at the knees, a fastball 0-1.
And wearing Noah Lowry's former number 51 warming up for the Giants right now. Tony Pena Jr. getting loose, so this could be Sanchez's last inning, and in his last start went 2 scoreless innings, so starting to build the inning count up a little bit.
Sanchez kicks and deals to the plate. Molina has to reach down off to his left to glove that one. That was near the feet of Byrd. Fastball missing, low and in. The count 1-1. Well, for Sanchez, as he looks ahead to the coming year, it's kind of the same story that it's been. We certainly saw improvements, especially so over the second part of last year, but there's no questioning Sanchez's stuff. It's just a question of concentration, throwing strikes, the pitch on the way, and Byrd checks his swing as he takes one that was low. Molina asked for an appeal that was not granted. So the count goes to 2-1. I mean, with Sanchez, here's a guy that the Giants know has strikeout stuff. Strikeout 1 per inning. There goes the runner. The 2-1 is in the dirt. Molina only able to block it and keep it in front of him, so there'll be no contesting the stolen base from Terrio. Picked off in the first, stolen base here in the third, and now into scoring position with 2 down as the count has run to 3-1 on Byrd. And it's not an unusual story, Doug, with pitchers. There are plenty of them really littering the minor leagues and the big leagues who haven't been able to establish themselves, who have great stuff and struggle in terms of going after hitters, throwing strikes, concentration. The 3-1 on the way, and a swing and a drive, but Byrd yanks it foul down the left field side, and the count runs full.
Well, again, these guys, I think generally speaking, don't really care so much who wins or loses these games, but it's important they do well because a lot of the groundwork is these pitchers established right here in spring training. And I know these two teams don't see each other until August, but better believe that Jonathan Sanchez is going to remember Brian Terrio getting a couple of hits off him this early and making adjustments. That might be the last time that they see each other for another 5 months.
Here's the payoff pitch, and strike 3 called on the inside corner. Byrd here's the strike 3 and quietly walks across home towards the dugout. Sanchez, a pair of strikeouts in the inning. He works around the 2-out single and the stolen base, strands a man in scoring position, and Sanchez 3 scoreless innings, including 5 strikeouts here this afternoon. Step away, we'll come back for the 4th. The Giants leading the Cubs 5-0. New pitcher on for the Cubs as we move to the fourth inning. The Giants 5 runs in the third and a 5-0 lead, and it's the left-hander John Grabo taking over for Carlos Zambrano, and he fires a first pitch strike to John Bowker. It's 0-1. Bowker led off the third with a single, and it led to big things for the Giants. The pitch, and there's a strike. Grabo delivers again, and Bowker swings, and he grounds it out towards second. Baker a step towards the bag, and now leans down to pick it up, throws on to first. Bowker is retired. There's one down in the fourth. Zambrano, 3 innings. He allowed 5 runs on 6 hits, including the grand slam home run to Sandoval. Walked 1, hit 1, struck out 1. And I have him at 50 pitches even. But again, that is likely not to be exactly correct. Kevin Franzen standing in now against the lefty Grabo, and he swings to the first pitch, hits it on a line right towards the center fielder Bird, who came in a step and then for a moment feared he might have come in too far, but he jumps up and he makes the catch about chest high, and on one pitch, though he made solid contact, Franzen retired, and quickly there are 2 down.
Now Grabo, like many Pirates, traded eventually. Grabo did spend a good chunk of his career there, spent 6 seasons with Pittsburgh.
Aaron Rowan swinging at the first pitch, and he bounces it down towards third. Charging Ramirez, he throws offline. Lee had to come off the bag to make the catch, and Rowan is safe. So Ramirez a little too casual with that play. He had plenty of time, and he kind of airmailed it, and the error will allow the inning to continue. Rowan aboard.
He charged an error to Aramis Ramirez, who looked like he thought he didn't have as much time to get Rowan. I mean, good throw. Certainly would have beat Aaron Rowan, and really rushed the throw when he didn't have to.
So now that'll give Eugenio Velez an opportunity to bat. 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch and credited with an RBI when that came with the bases loaded last inning, and now he takes a fastball strike on the outside corner. Well, it's an inexperienced bullpen for the Cubs. They're still trying to piece it together, in fact. They've had some injuries out there as the pitch misses outside. The closer is going to be Carlos Marmol. And then Grabo is really the primary setup man, although a left-hander. They'll also have a righty setup man, but he's going to pitch in big spots this year. The 0-1 on the way, and it misses high and away, and the count 1-1. Bullpen was not a strength of the Cubs last year. Started out the year with Kevin Gregg as the closer. Marmol took over later in the year, ended up going 11 for 11 in save opportunities. The pitch on the way, and Velez goes after a pitch away and chops it foul behind home. Sandoval showing some good agility in the on-deck circle, ranging to his right to pick that one up. Is there anything that Pablo does not do with enthusiasm on the baseball field?
He even takes helicopters to games.
He did that this past offseason. Throw to first, Rowan is back.
Yeah, the championship game in Venezuela, and important that he get back there. I guess was I'm not sure where in Venezuela the game was, but he was somewhere else in the country, and I don't get that in my deal anywhere I've been. I don't get a helicopter ride.
1-2 on the way. Velez swings and just gets a piece at home.
Remember the Giants ticket office? Get that in your deal? Do you get the helicopters?
No, I'm lucky if they just open the door for me in the morning, Doug. And by that I mean allow me to open the door. They don't lock me out. But yeah, that apparently, and obviously I'm only repeating news accounts that I heard, but it sounds as if it was kind of covered nationally and everybody was watching as Pablo arrived at the airport and then by helicopter transported towards the field. The pitch on the way to Velez. He swings and bounces it out to Ramirez. We'll get another chance to throw to first, and this time does so accurately, and Velez retire to end the inning. The Giants get a base runner on a 2-out error, but strand Rowan at first. We'll head to the home half of the fourth. When we return to Mesa, it is the Giants 5, the Cubs nothing. Bottom of the fourth inning, Giants leading the Cubs 5-0, and a new pitcher on for San Francisco as Jonathan Sanchez, 3 very clean innings of shutout ball, 3 hits allowed, and 5 strikeouts today. He gives way to the right-hander, the guitarist, Brandon Metters, and the pitch on the way is a strike to Derek Lee leading off. Fastball, it's 0-1.
Guitar that he'll be playing tomorrow night.
Metters working out of the stretch, and the 0-1 on the way, and a breaking ball. Lee swings over the top of it. It's quickly 0-2. Yeah, the Wood Jock event that is being put on by Jake Peavy and will feature performances from a lot of big leaguers, musical performances. Breaking ball misses low and away. Count 1-2. I believe you saw 2 parts of the 3-part band that the Giants will send walk in today. The pitch on the way and a swing, and Lee fouled it off his foot. So he goes hopping around as he got that one on the top of his left foot. It bounces out into the middle of the diamond, and the count stays 1-2.
Now Tim Flannery, he's part of that, and Matters, Barry Zito, Aubrey Huff. So
Aubrey Huff on vocals. Who knew?
Well, we will know come Thursday night, but that'll be at the venue, and a lot of charities will be honored or recognized at this event. The venue located near downtown Scottsdale, but Barry Zito's Strikeout for Troops Foundation, Autism Awareness Foundation.
1-2 on the way is a breaking ball missing outside. 2-2. I hope we get the opportunity to see some footage from that, and I don't know if we will, but sure would be fun to see Metters on guitar, Zito on the drums, Huff singing. The pitch is a fastball low and outside, and from 0-2, the count is run full. Aramis Ramirez and then Xavier Nady to follow Derek Lee. So the meat of the order here today for the Cubs. And a 3-2 pitch due to Lee. The pitch is just outside, a fastball that misses. And so Lee showing good patience. And he works the walk after falling behind. So a leadoff man aboard for the Cubs. Second time in 4 innings they've accomplished that.
Well, a much different spring training for Metters this year than it was last year when he was signed as an on-roster player, and really went down to the last day or two. Giants were deciding whether it be Metters or Justin Miller who they were going to take north, and it was Metters who they decided, and Justin Miller arrived in Fresno, and then when Joe Martinez got hit in the face with that line drive by Mike Cameron, well, Miller, who hardly unpacked his bags in Fresno, never even pitched a game for the Grizzlies, but was physically there for a little bit, came right back up, and it was Miller and Metters mostly in the pen.
Metters delivers and catches the outside corner with a fastball. There is a change at first base. Derek Lee, after coaxing the walk, is removed from the game in favor of a pinch runner, and that'll be Micah Hoffpower at first. So Hoffpower into the ballgame as a pinch runner, and the pitch on the way to Ramirez misses low.
Wind picking up a little bit right now, whipping out toward left center field, but at least for the most part clear skies today. A few clouds up there, but much more pleasant today than it was yesterday.
And a breaking ball in the dirt. Molina sliding to his right, tried to backhand it. It goes off the heel of his glove and bounds up the third base line a bit. So that wild pitch will allow Hoffpower to move up. He's into scoring position as the count goes to 2-1 on Ramirez here with nobody out in the fourth. 5-0 Giants. All of the Giants' runs coming in the third inning. An inning that began with 3 straight singles from Bowker, Franzen, and Rowan. And then after Velez was hit by a pitch to drive home a run, Sandoval with a home run out to right field, a grand slam. And that's been the scoring so far. Pitch on the way to Ramirez, and it misses, low and outside. And Metters, after getting ahead of Leo in 2 to begin the inning, is struggling to throw strikes. The count 3-1. But there's no question, Doug, your point is well taken. Metters kind of unusual for a guy who figures to be a middle reliever. The pitch on the way, and Ramirez swings, makes very good contact. Velez on the run. He's not going to get to it. It's over his head. One hops against the fence out towards the right of the 410 sign in center field. Rounding third is Hoffpauer. He will score, and Ramirez into second, standing with an RBI double. The Cubs are on the board. It is 5-1.
Mike Velez got a bad read on that ball. I know it's windy out towards center field, but probably a ball that Aaron Rowan would more than likely have a better chance to get to. And again, realizing that Rowan would normally be out there in this situation. However, that's very big right there. Velez, not a sure thing of making the team, and he's going to be expected, especially in a big center field in San Francisco, to make plays like that.
Now Xavier Nadia singled his first time up, and he takes the fastball strike. Just to complete the thought on Metters, I mean, he's got job security, which is the point that you were making, certainly, and figures to be a big part of things for the Giants this year. Running into some trouble, though, here in the fourth. A walk and a double. So now Nady behind in the count 0-1. And a breaking ball, backhanded, well out of the zone that time, as Molina able to make the play. And so the count evens at a ball and a strike. Well, you mentioned Velez, Doug, and this competition for reserve outfielder spots the Giants are watching carefully this spring. Count 1-1, the pitch, and a fastball, a pop-up behind home. Molina shading his eyes, trying to locate it. Now he's found the ball, and he takes a few steps in the direction towards the stands behind home, and he's able to get under it and make the catch. Nady retired. First out of the inning. But Velez, he brings obviously his great speed. He brings some versatility in that he can play the infield. Andres Torres, he can very adeptly play every outfield position, and he also with terrific speed. Bowker, very good power. Now a pickoff attempt at second as Franson snuck in, and Hoffpauer back in easily. Fred Lewis, obviously not meeting expectations last year offensively. He was expected to drive in runs for the Giants. For the most part, did not. But he brings a lot of tools. Pitch on the way, and Soriano backs out of the way of a breaking ball that started in and misses the strike zone in. Count 1-0. But certainly, Giants have some options with regard to different possibilities in constructing the opening day roster. Those players we speak of bring different skill sets to the table. A 1-0 on the way, and a breaking ball that is chopped foul towards the Giants coaches. Off to the home plate side of the dugout, and the count is evened at 1-1.
Velez played a lot of center field last year in Fresno after he had been sent back from the Giants for the first time. I had him out there in center field a lot, and it was an adjustment for him. There were a lot of balls that he had a tough time trying to get to, and
Soriano's swinging over the top of a breaking ball, and it's 1-2.
I think with him, Velez is such a, I guess you could say, an anxious player. He really is a guy that if you had him in a box and you open that box, he's going to spring right out and cover so much ground that a lot of it had to do with communication with the corner outfielders and just taking the proper routes to balls. Remember, he's naturally an infielder.
Here's the 1-2 on the way, and it's in the dirt. We even saw that, Doug, a couple of days ago on the first pitch of the game, I believe against the Dodgers, a fly ball into shallow center. Rowan came on, shallow right center, and Rowan, it's clearly his ball. He nearly got ran over by Velez, who was charging over from right field.
You know, Rowan being the veteran guy, he's almost like a coach out there.
Here's the 2-2 now on the way, and Soriano swings at a pitch that was towards the inside part and gets a piece, rolling it foul.
And Rowan and Velez, I could see them talking in the dugout, and Rowan saying, okay, we need to continue to work on this and that. Tomorrow, you and I will work on this together. Or this is what you need to do to get better. And I don't think Aaron Rowan is asked to do that, but Aaron Rowan is that kind of player that he really will nurture a youngster.
A 2-2 on the way, and a breaking ball misses in. Metters today not sharp with the off-speed pitches, so the count is run full. I think in a lot of ways, in the first 2 years, Aaron Rowan has been with the Giants. It has not lived up to his expectations, probably not to the expectations of the ball club either, but in that capacity, there's been no doubting his contribution in the clubhouse, in the dugout. Always been considered a great teammate, and I think carrying an extra level of responsibility with what is predominantly a younger team. The pitch on the way, and a broken bat, fly ball into center field. Velez ranging over into right center, makes the catch. Tagging at second is Hoff Power, and he'll move over to third as the ball is cut off by Uribe in the infield. The barrel of the bat, the broken bat, went helicoptering out towards third base, and now they're looking for somebody to give that bat to, a souvenir. In any case, 2 down with a runner at third now. Cubs with a run home, trailing 5-1 here in the fourth.
And Velez read that ball quite well, too. That ball didn't get up as far as the other one, but certainly took charge. Sherholtz was not going to get to that one. That was really only one play for Velez.
Now Metters trying to get out of the inning as he faces Jeff Baker, and Baker takes a strike. Baker, his first time up facing Sanchez, bounced back to the box to end the second. Behind the count here, 0-1. Metters sets at the belt, and the pitch on the way, and a fastball outside, and the count is evened at 1-1.
Baker, interesting background, is he was born in Germany. His father worked for the United States government, and that's why Baker grew up in Northern Virginia, with his dad having a position in Washington, D.C., and then Jeff went on to have an excellent college career at Clemson.
1-1 on the way, and the former Clemson Tiger takes in the dirt. Count 2-1.
I mentioned seeing Baker play at Colorado Springs is always confusing because you had Colorado Springs had a player named Jeff Baker, and then they had a player named Sean Barker, and they normally would bat back to back. So you had Baker and Barker, and Sean Barker was from Bakersfield.
Back to back, Baker, Barker.
You know, it would have made life much easier if Baker was from Bakersfield.
They're not here to make our life easy. The pitch on the way, and it was low and in. So the count 3-1. We had that the other day with Blake DeWitt hitting behind Casey Blake. When I read the lineup using only the last names, the second time through, it was Blake DeWitt. Those things are fun. The 3-1 on the way. Breaking ball swung on and missed. That one a good pitch. And this time Metters going to the off-speed stuff behind an account 3-1, and certainly not what Baker was expecting as he looked fastball, swung hard, and came up empty. So the count is run full. 2 down in the inning. And Metters to the plate. And a swing and a pop-up foul just off to our right. As a Cub fan went after it, and Cub fan went after it in kind of traditional Cub fan style in going after that ball. He had a drink in one hand and went with it the other hand to try to make the play. Don't see a lot of two-handed catches by Cubs fans during the year. The pitch on the way and a swing and a chopper into the Giants dugout, so the count remains full still, and we'll do it again.
One year, Fresno went in to play Nashville, and Corey Hart, the Brewers right fielder, was playing with Nashville at the time, but then they had another player, an infielder, also by the name of Corey Hart. They had 2 Corey Harts. One Corey was spelled C-O-R-Y, and the other was like C-O-R-E-Y.
Pitch on the way, and it's low. A fastball missing. So Metters issues his second walk of the inning. Runners at the corners now for Coy Hill, and that's going to bring out Dave Righetti. He'll have a conversation with Metters, maybe an opportunity for Metters to catch his breath here with 2 down in the fourth.
Rocky, as I'm sure you're aware, the first team the Giants will face in a regular season game this year at AT&T Park, the Atlanta Braves. Cy Young Award night, Saturday, April 10th. Tim Lincecum will receive his second consecutive Cy Young Award. The game followed by a fireworks show. Also that weekend, Sunday the 11th, 10th anniversary of the first game at AT&T Park. Now, selected games start as low as $5 per ticket, but prices can change. So buy early, lock in your price and save. Check out all of the great Giants promotions for this season. Visit sfgiants.com.
We talked about it at pretty good length yesterday as Dave Righetti back to the Giants dugout, and Molina finishing up with words for Metters as he heads back towards home. But 10 years since the ballpark opened in San Francisco, and happened to notice after the game, something I probably should have noticed long ago, but a very large picture in the offices, spring training offices of the Giants, Scottsdale Stadium, a pitch on the way, and Coy Hill swings and fouls it into the glove of Molina. It's 0-1. But of that very first pitch, Woody, Kirk Reeder delivering to Devon White of the Dodgers on April 11th, 2000. In front of a packed house, of course. The newly minted AT&T Park. The 0-1 on the way. Breaking ball strike. That one right in there, and it's 0-2. Don't want to talk about the results of that day. Giants actually got off to a very bad start at home that year.
I don't think the Giants are going to invite Kevin Elster to this event.
No, unlikely to see the former Dodgers shortstop there. The 0-2 on the way, and a fastball on the outside corner called strike 3. So Metters, after the visit from Righetti, nice job, Dave. He said the right words, and Metters comes up with the strikeout of Hill to strand a pair. One run across on one hit, a couple of walks. We will head to the fifth. When we come back, the Giants holding a 5-1 lead over the Cubs. Attention, young Giants fans, join the 2010 Giants Kids Club. That's right, the Giants Kids Club. Another terrific year ahead. Members receive a limited edition Sandoval Bobble Belly, a Tim Lincecum drawstring backpack, plus 4 ticket vouchers to select Giants home games at AT&T Park. Real nice package for the young fans. So become a member today. Visit sfgiants.com/kidsclub to join. Micah Hoffpower, who pinch ran for Derek Lee in the bottom of the fourth, takes over at first base here in the fifth inning, and a new pitcher on for the Cubs. It's the right-hander, a Rule 5 selection by the Cubs this offseason, Mike Parisi. And so Parisi set to go against Pablo Sandoval, and here's Doug.
All right, thanks, Rocky. 5-1 Giants and Pablo Sandoval. The difference in the game right now, takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Sandoval, Huff, and Molina 3-4-5 to face the former Cardinal farmhand and Parisi. Comes right back, and Sandoval makes outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sandoval, the grand slam of the Giants' 5-run third. Let's see here. Yesterday, a 5-run eighth. Today, a 5-run third, the 1-1, and that's a broken bat. Line drive, just foul down the right field side. Boy, the knee to the bat all the way out toward the lip of the grass near first base. The handle of the bat resting in the batter's box on the left-handed side.
Just a typical Pablo Sandoval swing. Batting from the left side, the ball low and away. He reaches for it, a little bit off balance, breaks his bat, and the result, a screaming line drive. Just happened to go a little foul, but really tough to avoid Pablo's bat. Makes good contact almost regardless of where the ball is pitched.
Well, the grand slam he hit back in the third inning, that ball out on the line. I mean, there's no doubt about it. They got out in a hurry. Sandoval just one career grand slam. And when I say that, obviously I'm speaking of regular season games. The 1-2 pitch is low, 2-2. Sandoval's first Major League Grand Slam was last year, July 6th at AT&T Park, in a giant 5-4 win against Florida. Hit a grand slam off the Marlin Sean West. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Infield swung well around to the right. 5-1 Giants, top 5 in the pitch. Grounded to second base to his right, Baker, and the second baseman will straighten up and throw to Hoffpower at first. And Sandoval retired 1 down. Here's Aubrey Hupp. Giants 5 and the Cubs 1. Grand slam allowed by Zambrano in 3 innings for Carlos today. 6 hits, 5 runs all earned. He walked 1, struck out 1. Zambrano has given up in his now just about 10-year Major League career 4 grand slams. As Huff takes a curve for a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. The guys who have taken him deep with the bases loaded, again in regular season games, Fernando Vina, Jason Bay, as the 0-1 here to Huff is low, 1-1. Carlos Delgado and Adam Kennedy, 4 Major League players to take Zambrano deep for a grand slam.
It's a pretty good list. Nobody really that should have Zambrano hanging his head too much.
1 ball, 1 strike to count to Huff, doubled in the second inning. Infield again around to the right, and Aubrey takes inside ball 2 from Parisi. And the count is a 2 balls and a strike. Parisi, in a Rule 5 draft choice from the Cubs last December, originally from the Cardinals, was originally a 9th round pick by St. Louis. The line, the 2-1, fastball down and in, swung on a miss. Strike 2, 2-2. Last year, really limited. He was recovering from Tommy John surgery, and because he pitched so little in the regular season, went to the Arizona Fall League and pitched for a surprise over the winter. 2-2 to Huff. Strike 3 called. Fastball in the inner half of the plate, and Aubrey down on strikes. 2 away for a strikeout for Parisi, who was primarily a starter in the Arizona Fall League, but does have big league time with St. Louis back in 2008. 0-4 with an ERA of 8.22 are his lifetime Major League numbers for Mike Parisi. So now here's Molina 0-for-1 with a walk. And the first pitch on the way to Molina is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Parisi grew up on Long Island, 6'3", 215 pounds. 27 in April. Swing by Molina and a ground ball through the hole between short and third and on to the left field, a base hit. His first hit today. 7 hits now for San Francisco to go along with a 5-1 advantage. Now here's Nate Scherholz. Parisi went to the school that you don't think much about when it comes to baseball. Went to Manhattan College in the Bronx.
Yeah, I guess if you think athletics with Manhattan College, you might think basketball. Outfield
deep and around toward right for Nate, and Parisi overhand pitch. Fastball taken for a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Overhand as opposed to a sidearm or underhand pitch, but I think most people get the idea there. 0-1 the count to Nate. Single to center his last time, and he swings here and lifts this one high in the air into right field. Sends a Ducey back onto the warning track, now drifting further to his left, still on the track, and right in front of the wall. He makes the catch. So Nate just got underneath that one and hit it a little too high, and that ends the top of the 5th. They hit a man left, halfway done today from Wrigley Field, Arizona style. Giants 5, Cubs 1 on sfgiants.com. Halfway done as we go to the bottom of the fifth inning this afternoon. Giants 5 and the Cubs 1. Doug Greenwald, Rocky Koplik with you here at Ho-Ho-Kem Park in Mesa. Stay connected with the Giants all season long. Follow the Giants official Twitter account and become a fan on Facebook. You will receive exclusive photos, videos, news updates, and exclusive tickets discounts. Visit sfgiants.com/connect to sign up for the Giants official Twitter account, which is with the @ SF Giants, and become a friend of the Giants official Facebook fan page. Giants have a new battery. Kevin Pusadis is the new pitcher, and the new catcher is Eli Whiteside. Bottom of the fifth, 5-1 San Francisco, and the first pitch to Jim Adduci is taken for a ball outside. 1-0 Adduci, and then the top of the order for Terrio and Bird to face the 25-year-old righty from Spartanburg, South Carolina, and Pusadis, who misses with a curve outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Kevin Pusadis, this is his second major league spring training. Last year came to the big league camp for the first time as he misses up and away, ball 3, 3-0. Pusadis, guy that was looking pretty good last year in regard to getting a call-up, but really struggled in August. Has never been to the major leagues. Out of the full windup, he winds, and the 3-0 pitch swatted in the air, foul left side, 3-1. Pusadis 10-6 last year in Fresno with an ERA at 5.04, and through the first several months, I mean, his ERA was in the low threes, which is outstanding for the PCL, especially for a young pitcher in the PCL. Out of the windup, he makes a 3-1, and the Adduci takes strike 2 on the outside corner, 3-2, but then really struggled in August, and let me correct that, apparently it was strike 3, I beg your pardon, the count was at 3-2, so I apologize for that. Adduci is out, and a good start for Pusadis in his fifth inning, meaning to start the fifth inning, his first inning of relief today. 1 down. And now for the third time this afternoon for the Cubs, they'll go to the top of the order for the shortstop, Ryan Terrio. But in August, Pusadis really struggled in his last couple of starts for Fresno, was unable to get out of the second inning in each of them. Pitch on the way to Terrio is a curve for a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. And Pusadis would tell you, and some of the coaching staff at Fresno will tell you, Pusadis was tired last year toward the end. The 0-1 pokes softly towards center field, and that's going to fall in front of Velez for a base hit. So Terrio, his third hit today, all have been singles. He's now 3 for 3. Giants 5, Cubs 1. And here's Marlon Bird. In large part because Pusadis had pitched in the fall league after the 08 season, and then went to big league camp, so he really got his major league, if you will, or his season started a little earlier than most minor leaguers, and we just sort of ran out of gas come August, but good to go this year, and actually caught up with Pusadis. I went to pay him a visit in South Carolina over the wintertime. I was in Greenville, where he lives now, and Pusadis has lost about 18 pounds, really looks good, and I saw him in December and could already tell he lost some weight. He worked out all winter at a fitness center that a lot of the athletes go to. I know there's one in the area, in the Phoenix area. There's one in Greenville, South Carolina. Kick down the pitch, fastball low from Pusadis. Ball 1-0 to Marlon Bird. And it's also a workout facility that Brandon Inge of the Detroit Tigers trains. So he and Pusadis know each other. But Kevin provided me with an excellent tour of Greenville, South Carolina. Very pretty town up toward the northwest part of that state. The kick and the 1-0 on the way, and that's outside 2-0.
He's an interesting pitcher to watch. You know, he's not going to overpower you with pure stuff, but he's very much a pitcher. He's very efficient. He throws strikes. He works quickly. Tends to get good defense behind him as a result.
2-ball, no strike pitch. Swinging a ground ball back a third, foul. 2 balls and a strike. We mentioned all the fatigue he had late in the year. Pusadis tied for first with the Grizzlies in innings worked, 159, and also led the team in starts a season ago with 28. And he's exclusively been a starter. He's a guy whose numbers have been outstanding in the minor leagues. 10-6 last year, 10-2 in San Jose the year before, 15-4 in Augusta the year prior. 2-1 on the way, and that's whacked on in the left field, a base hit. To his right to grab the ball, the left fielder in Bowker. Terrio up to second, and Marlon Bird has his first hit this afternoon. And And that'll bring up the first baseman, Micah Hoffpower. 6 Chicago hits now, but the Giants have a 5-1 advantage. But even in rookie ball, 2008, he was 7-1 at Salem Kaiser. 2006, he was 7-1 at Salem Kaiser. I mean, he's won tons of awards. He's was the pitcher of the year in the Cal League in 2008. He's been a minor league all-star for 3 years, and including last year. In fact, last season, the All-Star break, Crusaders was 10-2, but didn't win after that. Swinging a tapper to third, grab by Sandoval, in on the grass goes to Franzen, second for 1, and on the huff at first for 2, double play. Boy, Sandoval playing perfectly there, was on the lip of the grass at third, and Hoffpower hit it right to Sandoval, and they went around the horn. Sandoval to Franzen to Huff, 5-4-3 on the inning ending. Double play, 2 hits, a man left, done with 5 from Mesa. Giants 5, Cubs 1 on sfgiants.com.
Single game tickets on sale now at sfgiants.com. A packed slate of promotional events throughout the year, special events as well. Check it all out at sfgiants.com and get your tickets now. Select games start as low as $5 per ticket with new pricing structures available. The Giants are featuring the majority of games at lower cost than ever before. So buy your tickets today. Prices can change. So buy early and lock in your prices and save. Check out all the information at sfgiants.com. A few changes for the Cubs as we move to the top of the 6th inning. And some of the top prospects in the Cubs organization onto the field. Starlin Castro at shortstop, who is very highly regarded. In center field, it is Sam Fuld and a new pitcher on, and that's Andrew Kashner.
And Kashner's first pitch to Juan Uribe, high fastball swung on a missed strike, 1-0-1. Top of the 6th, Giants 5, Cubs 1. Doug Greenwald, Rocky Komplik with you on sfgiants.com. Uribe, Bowker, Franzen, and Uribe, a big swing and miss of the slider, strike 2, 0-2. As always, we'll give you the really best that we give you the batting order when they come up instead of trying to guess. Kashner was at Double-A and Single-A much of last year, and he takes outside. He misses outside ball 1-1-2 to Juan Uribe. Kashner, first-round pick in 2008 by the Cubs. Went to college at TCU, Texas Christian University. Out of the lineup in the 1-2 and a curve taken low ball to 2-2. 6'6", 210 pounds. Born in Conroe, Texas. Up in the Dallas area. 19th pick overall in 2008. Out of the lineup, the 2-2, and that's low ball 3-2. And he was even mentioned in one of the wintertime publications about possibly being a closer this year for the Cubs. Cashner originally was a 29th round pick by the Cubs in 2007. 3-2 here, and that's low. Ball 4 to Juan Uribe, so he is on for the first time today. One on, nobody out. Here's Bowker. Giants 5, Cubs 1. And then, understandably, went to TCU and was picked first a year later. So that's a pretty high leap from one year to the next. 29th round to the first round. And I'll tell you more about Cash in a moment. Meanwhile, Juan Uribe will check out of the game, and Brandon Crawford, more than likely, will stay in the game to play shortstop, goes into pinch run. Now Bowker, and the pitch on the way to John, lifted in the air into left field. Soriano back a couple of steps, so now carrying further to his left will be there to make the catch. 1 out. And here is Kevin Franzen, Giants 5, and the Cubs 1. But Cashner, in his first game, at least in the Florida State League, I think in 2008, he won the Florida State League championship in his debut with the Daytona Cubs. Fastball between 92 to 95, and he's even been known to get his fastball up to about 98. So now Cashner to face Franzen, but first to throw to first. Bowker back safely with a dive. Last year, again, got into 24 games, missed the first part of the season with an oblique injury. Pitch to Kevin is taken low for a ball, 1-0. But guy that has been known to keeping the ball in the ballpark. He's worked 120 innings in his pro career, giving up just 2 home runs.
Well, that's certainly, if you're looking to make a big league team and work out of the bullpen, that's a nice trait to have.
Kicking the pitch to Franzen, low and in, ball 2. And the count is at 2 balls and no strikes.
Probably the 2 most important things for a relief pitcher come to mind: keeping the ball in the ballpark and throwing strikes, not issuing those free passes. Nothing will drive a manager crazier than that.
Crawford at first, he bluffs. Franzen swings on a ground ball toward third. Played on the short hop by Ramirez. He goes to the second baseman in Baker for 1, and on a hop power at first for 2. Double play. So Ramirez made some pretty nice plays at third base this afternoon, and that ends the top of the 6th. 5-4-3 double play. No runs, no hits, and nobody left after 5.5. Cubs 5, Giants 1 on sfgiants.com. The Giants bring on their 4th pitcher of the afternoon, and it is right-hander Eric Hacker, capital H-A-C-K-E-R. Giants 5, and the Cubs 1 again tomorrow. I'm on my own. Rocky goes home after today. It's always fun to work with you, and we will see the Seattle Mariners tomorrow.
I can be convinced to stay, Doug.
Well, it's fine with me. I don't know if I make the rules, though, for you.
Probably not. Looking forward to getting back to San Francisco. It's been a treat, Doug. I certainly appreciate it.
Always fun. Eric Hacker, second game with the Giants, and he has got to get rid of this guy. He has the only Cactus League loss for the Giants. First year in the Giant system, Hacker out of the windup and a curveball, and that's looped in the left field. A base hit by Aramis Ramirez. So Ramirez and Hacker both spending many years in the Pirates chain, and Ramirez greets Hacker with a single to left. Ramirez on for the second time this afternoon, and now here is Xavier Nady. Kevin Pusadis for the Giants this afternoon worked one inning, gave up 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and he struck out one. Tell you more about Hacker in a moment. Long time in the Yankees system, in addition to his time with the Pirates. And now delivers to Nady, another former Pirate and Yankee, and the pitch on the way to Nady, low ball 1. And the count is at 1 ball and no strikes. Hacker grew up in the Dallas area, is from Duncanville, Texas, right there in the middle of the Metroplex. And here's a shocker, Rocky, about Hacker. Kicks in the 1-0, and that's popped up foul right side and just lands below us. 1-1. He grew up in Texas, and he played football in high school. That is absolutely amazing that that state produces another football player. Meanwhile, we're going to have a pinch runner for Ramirez, and Brad Snyder is going to pinch run. S-N-Y-D-E-R. Brad Snyder will pinch run for Aramis Ramirez. 1-1 the count. Hacker spent 8 seasons in the Yankees chain, never made it to the big leagues with New York, but did make it to the big leagues with Pittsburgh last year, got into 3 games with the Pirates. Born in Dallas, he stands 6'1", 226 pounds. 6-year free agent signed by the Giants, and he pours in a strike on the outside corner, 1-2. Hacker, a fastball, curveball, and a slider. Came up in late September with Pittsburgh and then was traded last year midseason from the Yankees to the Pirates. Originally a 23rd round pick by New York in 0-2. Fastball in 80 is inside for a ball. And the count is at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hacker made his big league debut September 22nd last year against Cincinnati. So a guy that I'd have to think would likely begin this year at Fresno, in a long time at AAA. Elsewhere, the 2-2 on the way is up and in ball 3, 3-2, but a non-roster invitee here to Giants camp. 3 balls, 2 strikes the count to Xavier Nady in his first game as a Cub, trying to get healthy from a couple of Tommy John surgeries. Runner at first base, again, that's Snyder. We'll see if he goes here, and Hacker wondering the same thing. Will throw over. Back safely with a dive is Snyder. Alfonso Soriano wetting on deck. A Rocky, big story about Giants camp involving one of the Giants and all of society. 3-2, Snyder goes, pitch inside, ball 4 to Xavier Nady. So Snyder up to second, Nady to first, and Hacker in some trouble here, first and second, nobody out. Giants 5, Cubs 1. Not often that when you have Willie Mays in town and Willie McCovey in town that they are not the lead attraction in the Giants clubhouse yesterday. The great Muhammad Ali in the clubhouse. I didn't know that Muhammad actually lives in Scottsdale, but Muhammad Ali was over at Padres camp the other day, and then yesterday over at Giants camp, and I mean, just exciting when you read what Willie Mays has to say about Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, that is something, and obviously quite a commanding presence, and the players all very excited to see him in the clubhouse yesterday morning.
Soriano, and he takes a curveball inside, ball 1, and the count is at 1 ball and no strikes. And just the guys in awe. I mean, yesterday meeting Muhammad Ali, I mean, they had some footage on the Giants' website. It almost looked like a team meeting where there was Ali and all the Giants were in the clubhouse. The 1-0 pitch, swing, and a ground ball back, a third foul. And the count is at 1 ball and 1 strike. But manager Bruce Bochy And sometimes it's tough to get Bruce to crack a smile, but he did yesterday with that picture with Muhammad Ali. Matt Cain, who was yesterday's starting pitcher, well, he was out there with a fist pump right with Ali's, and great thrill for many, many players to meet Muhammad Ali yesterday. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Runners at first and second. Soriano 0 for 2 this afternoon, and he swings and misses at a fastball down and in. Strike 2, 1-2. But as I said, to have Willie Mays talk about the greatness of what Muhammad Ali means, not just as an athlete, but to society, that's something, because so many people speak that same way of Mays.
It's just incredibly high praise and obviously well-earned. Really almost in a class of his own, Muhammad Ali.
Ball and 2 strikes. Hacker from the first base side of the rubber misses outside to Soriano, ball 2. Count is at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Giants met yesterday right before 9 o'clock, and literally was explained in one article I'm reading as if it was a college class listening to a guest lecture. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. Snyder at second, Nady at first, and Hacker kicks and deals, and a curve misses low and in. Ball 3 now to Soriano, 3-2. Ali was there to help promote Athletes for Hope. That's an organization created to educate athletes about the importance of community service, which connects them to the charity of their choice. More than 1,000 athletes in 50 different sports have joined this group. 3-2 the count, nobody out. And Hacker's payoff pitch. Soriano is swinging, a ground ball back at third. Snagged by Sandoval. He'll go to Franzen at second. A good stretch by Kevin to get the out at second base. Nady out with a slide. Franzen had to lead his glove almost toward left field side of second base. Snyder hustles over to third. 5-4 on the force at second. First and third now with 1 out. Giants 5, Cubs 1. Here's Jeff Baker.
That was a real nice play by Pablo as well. Again, I haven't seen all but, I've only seen 3 spring training games, but all the reports that Pablo showing a lot of good footwork and agility, which is not something Giants fans are unaccustomed to seeing. But on that play again, a slow bounding ball, had to go to his backhand side, went down to a knee, and had a hustle to get a throw off. Very nice play to get an out.
Now here is Baker. He is 0 for 1 with a walk. Tell you who else was in awe of Muhammad Ali was Sean Dunston, Giants infield instructor. As Baker takes low ball 1-0. Dunston said everyone thought he, meaning Ali, just knocked people out, but he changed everything. He stood up for what he believed. He made people realize that religion is not just set for one set of people, it's for everybody. Meanwhile, Darwin Barney has come in to pinch run at first base for Alfonso Soriano. Darwin Barney. Pitch on the way from Hacker to Baker is inside for ball 2-0.
Well, from my understanding, they set it up such that the Giants players would have the opportunity to take a picture with Ali, as you were just talking about. But obviously a lot of players in camp, and they all very patiently waited in line to get their turn. Kind of a role reversal for these players who are accustomed to getting that kind of attention.
Baker swings and fouls into the backstop, 2-1. After Matt Cain, who mentioned he got his picture with Ali, he said, Cain said after the photo shoot, that's pretty sweet. I never get nervous meeting people, but and what a great thrill for everybody. 2 balls and a strike to count to Baker. Coy Hill waiting on deck, and Hacker from the set position misses low inside. Ball 3, and the count is at 3 balls and a strike. So, yesterday, big day at Scottsdale Stadium. We had Muhammad Ali and Omar Vizquel and Ozzie Guillen. 3-1. Runners at the corners. And the pitch from Hacker, and that swung on and hit the short. Caught by Crawford, moving a couple steps to his left. Good play there by Brandon Crawford, and Baker retired. So 2 out, and now here's Coy Hill. Holding at third is Snyder, and at first Barney. Now Coy Hill digs in. Giants 5 and the Cubs 1. Sad bit of news, though, from baseball. One of the all-time great Dodgers, Willie Davis, passed away last night. Davis at his home in Burbank, 69 years old, and not sure yet if there's been a determination what the cause of death was, but obviously a guy that was right in the heart of all those Giant Dodger rivalries of the 60s. Davis passing at age 69. Coy Hill takes a strike on the inside corner, and the count is at no balls and a strike. Davis later went on to play with the Expos, Rangers, Cardinals, Padres, and Angels, but I think safe to say most people remember him as a great Dodger. A fastball misses outside, ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Davis later, like many do in certain organizations, went on to work in a community capacity with Los Angeles. 1 ball, 1 strike pitched, half to second base on the lip of the grass. The second baseman in Franzen, and he throws to Huff at first, and that retires Coy Hill. So a Hacker out of trouble in the 6th, 1 hit and 2 left. We move to the 7th, 5-1. The Giants lead the Cubs on sfgiants.com.
Giants coming to bat. Top of the 7th inning with a 5-1 lead over the Chicago Cubs, and Aaron Rowan standing in, and Rowan swings and misses at a fastball, and the count is 0-1. New pitcher on for the Cubs, the right-hander Thomas Diamond. Diamond acquired off waivers out of the Texas organization by Chicago. Battled injuries, once a very highly regarded prospect, trying to make his way back as he fires a fastball inside. And the count even at 1-1 against Rowan. Rowan batting for a 4th time. He singled and scored in the 3rd, also reached on an error in the 4th. Pitch on the way, and Rowan swings, and it's a high fly ball out into shallow right field. Backing up is the second baseman, Barney, and Barney in shallow right makes the catch. Rowan is retired. Also some other defensive changes for the Cubs here in the 7th inning. Snyder, who came in to pinch run for Ramirez in the bottom of the 6th inning, stays in the game and plays in left field. Darwin Barney, who just made that catch a moment ago, is playing at second, and Jeff Baker has moved over to third base. Pitch to Velez is outside for a ball, and the count 1-0. Also a change behind the plate as Chris Robinson takes over and does the catching. So Diamond has retired the first man that he's faced, and the 1-0 on the way to Velez is a called strike. Fastball, and the count 1-1. Velez officially 0 for 2. He reached when he was hit by a pitch. Got credit for an RBI as well and came around to score. The pitch on the way, and it misses outside. And the count now 2 balls and a strike. The Giants scored 5 times in the third inning when they picked up 5 hits, and outside of that, the offense has been pretty quiet. Nonetheless, a 5-1 lead. The pitch, and just missing with a good fastball was Diamond, and the count now 3-1. That one off the outside corner. Velez, a switch hitter, batting from the left side. Pablo Sandoval, a switch hitter, is on deck. And the pitch on the way, and a swing and a miss. Velez may have chased ball 4 that time as he reached for one and missed. And he's probably happy he did. On a 3-1 count, Velez wants to really try to drive a ball. Swinging a good pitch at the least. He did not that time. The 3-2 on the way, and now he takes strike 3. So Velez down on strikes. First strikeout for Diamond, and quickly 2 retired here in the top of the 7th inning.
Diamond at one time one of the top prospects in the Rangers system. Remember meeting him when I was living in the Shreveport area at a Texas Ranger caravan that made it into East Texas. I'm sorry, that made it into Northwest Louisiana.
Now Pablo Sandoval, a grand slam in the 3rd inning. The pitch. And he swings and he hits it off the fist. A pop-up and foul ground off of third. Baker ranging over, makes the catch behind Tim Flannery. And just like that, the inning is over. So the Giants go very quietly in the top of the 7th inning. And now a baseball tradition, a great Chicago tradition as well. The 7th inning stretch. Take me out to the ball game coming up. We'll come back for the bottom half. The Giants leading the Cubs 5-1. Well, he take me out to the ball game. Always a real treat around the Chicago Cubs. Long-standing tradition at Wrigley Field. They'll bring in celebrity types to lead the fans, and of course, root for the Cubbies is what they say, and they always have a real good time with that. So even down here in Mesa, a little warm-up for the regular season. Fans enjoying that right there. 5-1, the Giants leading as the Cubs come to bat in the home half of the 7th inning. Craig Whitaker, the right-handed pitcher, on to work here in the home half. And Jim Adduci still in the ballgame, one of the few starters still in the game, and he takes the first pitch fastball away. The count 1-0. Adduci has struck out swinging twice today. He is 0 for 2. 1-0 on the way, and a chopper out to the new second baseman, Nick Noonan. Noonan fields chest high on the second hop as he moves a step towards first and throws on to first. Adduci set down. There's one away.
Rocky, I know we mentioned it about an inning and a half ago. Last inning went by pretty quick. We're talking about Willie Davis, who passed away, and I know a lot of old Giant fans certainly remember Willie Davis being such a big part of those great Dodger teams. And something that I learned yesterday that, believe it or not, I did not know off the top of my head, that Willie Davis is the all-time hit leader in L.A. Dodger history. 2,091 hits. Now, he's third all-time. Zach Wheat, the all-time Dodger leader from the days in Brooklyn, and Pee Wee Reese second.
Pitch on the way from Whitaker, kind of a low three-quarters delivery, and he misses away with a breaking ball, 1-0.
But Davis, the all-time stolen base leader. I'm sorry, second all-time in steals, 335.
Pitch on the way, Starling Castro hits a sharp ground ball over to the shortstop. Crawford on the backhand able to glove it, but when he went to plant his foot to try to get off the throw, his feet slipped right out from under him. He was finally able to release the ball as he kind of fell to his backside, but an arcing throw way late, and Castro is aboard. And I believe they're going to give him a hit. That would be the fourth hit out of the leadoff spot today for the Cubs. Terrio 3 for 3, and Castro, their top prospect, who has great speed and is now aboard at first. Singles there, the 8th hit of the day for the Cubs. So now Sam Fuld standing in his first at-bat today, and he takes a strike.
I want to correct one thing. Maury Wills, Davey players of the 60s and early 70s passing yesterday, and Willie Davis.
Very sad news indeed. A two-time world champion with Los Angeles. So over to first base and back in standing is Castro. Other defensive changes we should mention here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Francisco Peguero takes over in center field. Connor Gillespie is in the ball game at third. The pitch. Swing and a hot shot to Crawford. He's right near the bag. He fields. Underhanded toss to second for one. On to first. Double play. Easily and well turned by the Giants there. 6-4-3. Crawford to Noonan to Huff. And just like that, a quick inning for Craig Whitaker as he works around the infield hit. And no runs across. Giants still leading it by 4. We'll head to the 8th. It is San Francisco 5, the Cubs 1. Top of the 8th inning we go now. Giants with a 5-1 lead. This one moving quickly along here on a very nice day. Started out with blue skies, although cool temperatures and bright sunshine. Now it's become more overcast, but still very pleasant out, and a nice-sized crowd. 9,381 in attendance today at Hohokam ballpark here in Mesa, as the Giants leading 5-1, and Aubrey Huff standing in to lead things off. New pitcher on for the Cubs is John Gobb, the left-handed pitcher. And Gobb, working out of the stretch, delivers, and Huff takes a strike. Aubrey Huff, a softly hit double along the left field line his first time up, and he is 1 for 3. So Huff behind in the count, 0-1. And the pitch on the way, and Huff started the hands forward, held up, but took a strike. So the count quickly 0-2. Cubs on the infield very much playing Huff to pull the ball. High power at first, near the line, and well off the line at third is Baker. The pitch, swing and a foul, as it's bounced behind home plate. Scoreboard saying 1-1. I do not believe that is correct. I think Huff has 2 strikes on him. The pitch on the way, and he checks his swing and takes up high. And count 1-2.
I think Gary Darling, the plate umpire, correcting the scoreboard now. Well, the scoreboard now has 2-1. I believe Darling did the 2 fingers with his left hand.
And the pitch. And that one's inside. Huff backing away. So we'll find out soon enough what the actual count is. But Huff is up there, and he's going to see another pitch. Eli Whiteside is on deck. Whiteside yet to have an at-bat today. And the pitch to Huff, and he checks his swing, and he takes, and so that, I assume, is not ball 4, since Huff is still up there. I believe the count is now full. The scoreboard says 3-1. Spring training down here. The pitch on the way, and Huff swings, and he pops it foul out of play. So the count will remain full.
Gobb traded from the Indians back in 2008, early after the 08 season, traded from the Indians to the Cubs, and the Cubs sent an infielder by the name of Mark DeRosa over to Cleveland.
I've heard of that guy. Pitch on the way, and Huff hits it very sharply on one hop to the shortstop Castro, gets in front of it, knocks it down, picks it up, throws to first, and it gets Huff. That one nearly ate up Castro as Huff hit it like a bullet, but Castro well positioned right there to knock it down and then quickly make the play, and Huff is retired. Speaking of DeRosa, Doug, yesterday making his Giants Cactus League debut, and on the first pitch he saw, got a base hit. So Giants working him slowly into action after the off-season wrist injury, but everything seems to be progressing well for the Giants' new left fielder.
Said he felt good with that swing. Of course, hits help things.
There's Eli Whiteside now, who stands in to take a strike. Whiteside, right-handed hitter, batting in place of Benji Molina. Molina today, 1 for 2 with a walk. The pitch, and that one misses in. So the count now 1-1.
Tell you who else made his debut yesterday in spring training? Steven Strasburg, the number 1 pick of the Nationals last year, 2 scoreless innings against the Tigers.
1-1 pitch on the way, and it's taken low, and the count 2-1. Wasn't a whole lot of fanfare surrounding that. I think I saw they may have shown every pitch he threw yesterday on Baseball Tonight on ESPN. Certainly demonstrated the kind of stuff that has everybody talking. The pitch on the way, and a high fly into shallow right. Coming in, a Ducey drifting along with it as you see the glare off his sunglasses, and he makes the catch on the move, and there are 2 down.
Struck out Miguel Cabrera. So far, both 2 of the more highly touted pitchers coming into spring training, Aroldis Chapman of the Reds, the Cuban product, and then Strasburg. Both have pitched pretty well.
So that strikeout of Cabrera kind of buckled Cabrera with a curveball during that at-bat, but very good fastball and seemed poised on the mound. The future of the Washington Nationals. The pitch on the way, and Scherholtz backs away of a low and inside pitch. The count 1-0.
And Cliff Lee made his Mariner debut yesterday. Big trade that the Mariners made from the Phillies over the winter.
The 1-0 is in the dirt, and the count now 2-0 to Nate Scherholtz. Scherholtz a single in the Giants' 5-run third inning against Carlos Zambrano, and he is 1 for 3. Giants with 5 in the third. The Cubs with their lone run in the fourth. The pitch. And there's a strike. A fastball on the outside corner, and the count now 2-1. Brandon Crawford is on deck, the Giants' young shortstop. Sherholtz sporting a new look for this year. He's wearing batting gloves. The pitch. And it's a strike on the outside corner. You don't see many players these days without gloves.
Well, I would talk to Nate about that, and knowing Nate as I do quite well from Fresno.
2-2 is in the dirt, the count full.
And I asked him about that. He says that he just gets a better feel of the bat not wearing batting gloves, but he said that when he played in Connecticut in April and it would get cold, or maybe if the Grizzlies played up at Tacoma in April, he would wear batting gloves, as he says, just to keep my hands warm. So it's a little crisp here today. Maybe that's the reason.
Count full, pitch on the way, and Sherholtz takes ball 4 outside. So Nate Sherholtz, 2-out base runner for the Giants.
I was talking about Cliff Lee. Actually, Cliff Lee made his spring training debut today. And Cliff went 3 innings for Seattle, allowed a run on 5 hits, struck out 1 through 46 pitches. But Lee, about 5 weeks ago, had a bone spur removed from his left foot. So that is why he didn't pitch until now. Lee's first regular season start expected to be April 6th against the A's in Oakland. The Mariners have yet to announce their opening day starter.
Brandon Crawford standing in. He takes a pitch high. And by the way, a new base runner at first base as Darren Ford is pinch running. So Ford very likely will stay in the game, play the outfield in place of Nate Sherholtz, and is at first now with 2 down. Count 1-0 on Crawford, and a throw over to first, and Ford chased back.
So a lot of pitchers making their debuts in the last really 3 days. Chapman on Monday, Strasburg yesterday, Cliff Lee today.
That should be a good pitching rotation up in Seattle this year. Certainly should contend in the AL West. The pitch, and it's inside and high. Gets off the glove of the catcher Robinson, bounces away, and Ford will jog up to second on a wild pitch. Crawford easily spinning out of the way of that one, but still, I'm sure, felt the breeze of that fastball whizzing by. The count 2-0. I'm talking all week about the cool temperatures around the valley. Saw a note among the many notes provided to us. Pitch on the way, and a strike, a fastball, and the count 2-1. Yesterday, the Cubs delayed here in Mesa the start of their game, much like the Giants game in Scottsdale, delayed by close to an hour at the outset. But at game time, temperature here in Mesa, 6 degrees cooler than it was in Chicago. The 2-1 on the way, and it's a strike. And the count 2-2. And that's not right. Cub fans suffering through the long Chicago winter get down to spring training, want to enjoy the sun, and their friends call them and say, it's warmer here. The pitch, swing and a miss. Crawford down on strike, and the inning is over. So the 2-out walk. Ford ends up stranded at second base after pinch running, and the strikeout ends the frame. We're headed to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Giants still leading here in Mesa 5-1. New pitcher on for the Giants as this game moves to the bottom of the 8th inning, and it's Steve Edlifson. Edlifson, a very good year in the minors last year and very much on the Giants' radar as he takes over here. And Micah Hoffpower standing in. Hoffpower batting in the 3rd spot in the order, and Snyder on deck. 5-1 Giants. Count 1-0, and the pitch on the way, and a swing and a bouncer towards the middle, ranging behind the bag. Crawford fields, throws, and on the bounce, Pill digs it out, and they get Hoffpower. Very nice play by Crawford, ranging far to his left, and there's one away.
Well, Edlifson, a guy that has a very, very good sinker, gets a lot of ground balls, and came up and I don't know, the first 10 or so innings, only given up a run in Fresno. Really pitched well, as guys like to say, just real nasty. And had a nice visit with Steve a few days ago. He was in the fall league.
And the pitch to Snyder is a fastball away, 1-0. Brad Snyder, I said Ben, so I correct myself. It is Brad. The pitch on the way, and it's taken outside. Count 2-0. And Edlifson is not far off. Giants definitely like his arm. The pitch on the way, and there's a strike on the outside corner. Maybe in other years, he might even get some further consideration, but the Giants bullpen pretty well known at this point as to who's going to make the team. The pitch on the way, and it's up high for a ball. Count now 3-1. I was impressed the other day with Guillermo Mota. He threw the ball well. He's in competition for probably the last bullpen spot. Pitch on the way is up high for a ball, and Edlifson loses Snyder on 5 pitches for the walk. Runner on with 1 down. And it'll be Chad Tracy, the longtime veteran, formerly of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Signed to a minor league contract this offseason by the Chicago Cubs. Tracy has really had to deal with a lot of injuries over his career, but he's a powerful bat off the bench if he can make the team. Pitch on the way is outside for a ball, 1-0. Now Brett Pill coming in just momentarily for a quick word with Edlifson. He has that word from a distance of about 20 feet or so between first base and the pitcher's mound. Giants a double play depth in the middle of the infield with Noonan the second baseman and Crawford at short. The pitch on the way is outside, and now Whiteside is going to go to the mound to talk to Edlifson, who right now is struggling with his control.
Edlifson originally a shortstop at the University of Nebraska, and the Red Sox drafted him as a shortstop, but they were unable to agree with money. Well, a lot of times the shortstop has a good arm, so he went back to his senior year in Nebraska and became a pitcher. And the Giants drafted him out of Lincoln.
2-0 on the way, and a strike called. 2-1. Giants have another pitcher who's formerly a shortstop, and Tony Pena Jr. in camp. A pitch on the way, and a swing and a foul. Into the crowd, off to the area behind home plate on the third base side. Count 2-2. Nice grab by a fan, gets a good ovation. I don't know if it's happening more or it's just talked about more, but it seems like a lot of position players are trying to make that conversion when things are not going well with the bat, have a live arm. They try pitching. The pitch on the way, and it's up high, and the count now 3-2.
Now the White Sox have a pitcher named Sergio Santos who spent about a couple of weeks with the Giants at their minor league camp last year. Never got into any games with any Giant affiliate, but he too was a shortstop.
3-2 on the way, and there's ball 4. So Edliston's walked 2 in a row. And he's setting the table for the Cubs here as Dave Righetti will come out and have a chat. Whiteside already had gone to the mound and thought his conversation was over until he turned back towards home and saw Righetti. So now those 3 will try to figure things out for Edliston. Cubs have out-hit the Giants today 8-7, but the Giants with a 4-run lead. And the Cubs with the only error of the game. So Righetti had a quick word, and now he's heading back to the dugout. Only saw Dave Righetti come to the mound once earlier today, and on that occasion he seemed to have the right words for Brandon Metters, who came back with a strikeout to end the 4th inning. So we'll see if Edliston can regain his command of the strike zone. The pitch on the way, and there's a fastball strike. It's 0-1. Darwin Barney, the batter, with Jeff Baker, one of 2 Cubs that started the game, still in the game. Baker is on deck. 2 on, 1 down, the 0-1, and a swing and a chopper foul. The count now 0-2. That one up the third base line. Barney digs back in as Edliston comes set, and the runners lead off. The pitch. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Edliston gets him. Barney actually fouled it into the glove of Whiteside, who held on. And so 2 down now, and Baker will get a chance. Baker today 0 for 2. He did walk in the 4th inning. That against Metters. Jonathan Sanchez started this game. He went 3 innings and pitched very nicely. Gave up 3 hits, all of them singles, and struck out 5. And notably, Sanchez did not walk anybody. A pitch. And a breaking ball, strike. Good slider that time. It's 0-1. Since Sanchez, it's been 1 inning each from Metters, Pusadis, Hacker, Whitaker, and now Edliston. And he delivers here, and another breaking ball in the inside corner. A strike. It's 0-2. So Dave Righetti's done it again. A quick visit, and since then, after 2 straight walks, we've seen 5 consecutive strikes from Edliston, who tries to get out of trouble here without allowing a run. 2 aboard, and the pitch, and a fastball misses away, and it's now 1-2. Darren Ford in center field is shaded towards right center right now. The pitch, and a swing and a chopper into the Giants' dugout. And very nicely grabbed there. Is that Ron Wotus?
Boy, Ron's showing off his infield skills right there.
Very casually and yet superbly handled that bounding ball. For a moment, I wasn't sure if he got it. He was so blasé after grabbing it. And count 1-2, and the pitch, and it's in the dirt. Whiteside nicely sliding to his right to block it as it rolls a little bit away from him. But a good job by Whiteside with 2 aboard there to keep that one close, and neither runner able to advance. Count goes to 2-2.
Edliston began the year at Connecticut last year, and just in a number crunch was sent to San Jose.
Pitched beautifully there. The 2-2 on the way, and a swing and a pop-up that is going to reach the seats off the first base side, and the count remains 2-2.
And the Giants said to him, look, we know we're sending you backwards, but you go down and you still pitch well at San Jose, your next promotion will be to Fresno. You don't have to worry about coming back to Connecticut. And indeed, he pitched very well at San Jose, and he ended up making that 2-level leap to Fresno, where he continued pitching well. Edliston delivers, and he strikes out Baker. A fastball on the inside corner. Baker knows it. He just takes off the helmet, drops the bat right there at home plate, and the inning is over. So Edliston, after a couple of walks, a couple of strikeouts, no runs across, 2 left, will head to the 9th. The Giants leading it 5-1.
Well, we've talked about it a lot, but why not? We're excited, and it's fast approaching. There won't be a whole lot longer to talk about it. The opening series this year, the regular season at AT&T Park, coming up April 9th through 11th. Opening day on Friday, April 9th. Then April 10th, Saturday night, it's opening night, Cy Young Award night, as Tim Lincecum receives the Cy Young Award, followed by post-game fireworks. So that should be terrific. And then on Sunday, April 11th, the 10th anniversary of the first game at AT&T Park. Again, that's Sunday, April 11th. So get your tickets today, sfgiants.com.
Justin Berg is the new Cubs pitcher, right-hander, and he is the seventh Chicago hurler of the afternoon. John Gobb ended up going one inning, walked one, struck out one. And Thomas Neal leads it off for the Giants. Right-handed batter swings and chops this one to second base. Right at Darwin Barney, in the former Oregon State Pac-10 Freshman of the Year, throws out. Neal at first, one pitch, one out. Darwin Barney grew up in the Portland area, grew up in Beaverton, and remember some of the great back-to-back national championship teams for Oregon State. One down, and now here is Nick Noonan. And after that, top of the order for Aaron Rowan, or at least Rowan's spot. So now Noonan digs in, and Berg ready to go, and the pitch on the way to left-handed batting Noonan, taken for a strike on the inside corner. 0-1 for Berg this season. He is 1-0 this spring, that is. He's been in one ball game, worked a total of an inning, and it's been in the Cubs system for a while. The 0-1 to Noonan, and that is low for a ball. And the count is at 1 ball and 1 strike. Justin Berg's been to the big leagues with the Cubs, called up last year. Originally was in the Yankees chain. Grew up in Antigua, Wisconsin. Swing by Noonan, drives this one toward left center field, but drifting to his right is the center fielder, Sam Fuld. And the Stanford alum makes the catch. So Noonan, no grand slam this time here at Mesa. Flies out. 2 down, and now for the 5th time this afternoon, San Francisco will go to the top of its order, but instead of for Aaron Rowan, it'll be Jesus Guzman who will pinch it. Guzman, a week ago in the spring training opener, delivered a game, what turned out to be game-deciding single in the top of the 10th inning in Peoria against the Mariners. Guzman against Berg, and the pitch on the way, and Jesus swings, and a tapper to third base. Playing back on the 2-hopper near the bag is Baker, and he'll throw across the Hoff power, and Guzman is out. Giants go very quickly in the 9th. 1, 2, 3, last chance for Chicago. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Giants 5, Cubs 1 on sfgiants.com. Last chance for the Chicago Cubs as we go to the bottom of the ninth inning. Giants 5, Cubs 1 again tomorrow and Friday. We are on the web. Once again, 11:55 a.m. Pacific time. Tomorrow for Seattle, Ian Snell, the former Pirate. Say that about most major leaguers. Former Pirate Ian Snell and Tim Lincecum will get together at Scottsdale. And then Friday we'll be in Tucson on the web. Todd Wellemeyer gets the ball for the Giants. Giants and Rockies will get together. Then Saturday, the Giants and A's will meet in Scottsdale, and there will also be a split squad, the other Giants going to Peoria. Now the Giants-A's game will be on CanBR. John Miller and I will be with you from Scottsdale Stadium for that one on CanBR. Waldis Joaquin trying to close this one out, and the Dominican right-hander fires in a strike to Chris Robinson on the inside corner, 0-1. So Edlifson, 1 inning, no hits, no runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Chris Robinson gets it started, and then after that, after he swings and fouls one off right side, 0-2, it'll be Robinson, Adduci, and then the top of the order for Castro face the Christmas-born Waldis Joaquin, born Christmas Day, 1986. Outfield around to the right. Joaquin, who made it to the big leagues last year with the Giants, hard-throwing right-hander deals, and Robinson, a fastball, fouled off right side, 0-2. Joaquin blew a save at his first appearance of spring. That was last week against the Mariners in Peoria. Not a save situation here with the Giants up 5-1. Robinson spent time last year at AAA Iowa weights. And the pitch on the way to Crislow outside for a ball. And the count is now at 1 ball and 2 strikes to Chris Robinson from Canada. Grew up in London, Ontario, but went to school at the University of Illinois. Was an all Big 10 conference player there. The 1-2 pitch swung on, chopped to first to his right, Pill. Underhand toss to Joaquin, covering. And Robinson is out, 3-1 on the play at first. And here is Jim Adduci. Mitch and Adduci been in the game the whole way. Baker and Adduci, the lone Cubs starters, still in there. All of the Giants starters have been removed. Adduci is 0 for 3 today. Adduci, growing up around the game, his father, also by the name of Jim, played in the Pirates, or played with the Milwaukee Brewers at the big league level. And despite Adduci growing up in the Chicago area, was born in Canada. Fastball to Adduci, swung on a missed strike, 1-0-1. Was born in British Columbia, right outside Vancouver, because his father, Jim, was a player in the Brewer system at that time. And Milwaukee, back in the mid-'80s, had their AAA club in Vancouver. No balls and a strike to count. Outfield well around to the left, and Adduci takes outside from Joaquin, 1-1. So today we have seen the likes of John Gobb, traded from the Indians to the Cubs for Mark DeRosa. Now we've seen Adduci, who was traded from the Marlins to the Cubs for Todd Wellemeyer.
It's a small world, baseball.
1-1, and Adduci takes low, ball 2. And the count is at 2 balls and a strike from Waldis Joaquin, who went from Double-A to the big leagues last year, got into initially 1 big league game. Now he ultimately pitched 10 games, but after his first big league game for the Giants in Houston, he then was sent to AAA. Fastball to Adduci, swinging a 2-hopper right to Nick Noonan, grabs the ball belled high and his throw to Pill. Retires Adduci, who twice today has grounded a second, and the other 2 times has struck out. 2 away, Giants 5, Cubs 1. Rock, you were mentioning the Giants only 1 hit after the 3rd inning today.
Yeah, it's been pretty quiet. All the scoring in this game, 5 for the Giants in the 3rd, 1 for the Cubs in the 4th. That's been it. Last hope for the Cubs is Chicago will go to the top of its order for the 5th time for Starling Castro. Again, one of the, well, I'd say one of them. He, considering some publications, is the top prospect in the Cubs chain. And the shortstop takes a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Castro, like Joaquin, both from the Dominican Republic. Waldis Joaquin, 6 feet, 238 pounds. Castro, a guy that
minor league average of .301. He's been playing professionally for 3 years. Swings at a chopper foul, third base side. Past third base coach Mike Quade, 0-2, and now the Cubs down to their last strike. But last year, Castro in the 2009 All-Star Futures game held in St. Louis, played for the World Team, was 1-for-1 in that game. Castro, 19 years old, won't be 20 until the end of this month. The 0-2 pitch, lost off the plate, ball 1-2. Do you do a double take like I do when you see a player playing professional baseball born in the 1990s?
I can't tell you, Doug. I just try to ignore it if I can.
1-2 the count. Paid crowd today, 9,381. Capacity here, 13,100. The 9,381 here today. Swings by Castro and swinging a ground ball into center field, a base hit. I'll tell you what, if you're batting in the number 1 spot in the Cubs order today, you're 5 for 5 combined.
5 of the 9 Cubs hits, all coming from that top spot.
Terrio 3 for 3 with 3 singles. Castro's come in a couple of singles. Now Sam Fuld grounded into a double play in the 7th inning. The left-handed batting center fielder. Grew up in New Hampshire, but he went to school at Stanford. Both of his parents were professors at the University of New Hampshire. There goes Castro. The pitch to Fuld. Broken bat tapper to first. Pill to his right, up with it. Underhand toss to the pitcher. Joaquin covering, retires Fuld, 3-1, and the ball game is over. There are the Cubs in the 9th. No runs, 1 hit, and a man left. Final score this afternoon: Giants 5, Cubs 1. Rocky and I will be back with the final totals in just a moment. Final score this afternoon: the San Francisco Giants 5 and the Chicago Cubs 1. Here are the final totals for today's game. First for the Giants, now 7-1 in the Cactus League. 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors, 5 left. For the Chicago Cubs, who dropped to 3-3 in the Valley of the Sun. 1 run, 9 hits, 1 error, and 10 left. Jonathan Sanchez will get credit for the win, and he goes to 1-0 in the spring. The loss to Carlos Zambrano, 0-1. Time of the ball game: 2 hours 43 minutes, played in front of a paid crowd of 9,381. And today, Rocky, it was all you that you had all the runs today. I didn't get to call anybody crossing the plate today. Unbelievable.
I would say I feel badly about it if it was 5-1 Cubs, but hey, a good big third inning. The Giants have kind of made it their thing this spring to put together these big innings, and they've also made it their thing to win, and another good game for the Giants, and I think most notably the starting pitching performance of Jonathan Sanchez.
Sanchez, 5 strikeouts today, 3 innings, no runs, no walks, 3 hits. So Sanchez, through his first 2 starts, has pitched a total of 6 innings, and he has pitched a total of 5 innings and has struck out 8. So he looked good today, and again, we saw yesterday Buster Posey, Fred Lewis homering, and you saw how quickly the ball got off the bat of Lewis. How about Pablo Sandoval's grand slam? That wasted no time getting out of here.
No, a long drive that easily cleared the fence in right field and stayed fair by a good margin as well. And obviously the Giants are going to rely very heavily on Pablo throughout this year to drive in runs. And when the table is set for him, he's got some better support this year, the likes of Huff and DeRosa and Molina likely moving down in the order. But in a lot of ways, as Pablo goes, so go the Giants offensively.
Sandoval, the grand slam today. I have Carlos Zambrano set up by base hits for John Bowker and Kevin Franzen. Both are having good springs. Aaron Rowan at the top of the order for the second time. He followed with a single, and it all got started. The runs on that hit by pitch to Eugenio Velez, but then it was Sandoval who jumped on Zambrano for the grand slam. Against Sandoval had one grand slam last year in the regular season against Sean Weston, Florida. Brandon Metters today, 1 inning, 1 run earned, 1 hit, 2 walks and a strikeout. And then the rest of the way, guys that are more than likely going to be in AAA to begin the year, or at least will not be with the big club to begin the year, but Kevin Pusadis, Eric Hacker, Craig Whitaker, Steve Edlifson, and Wallace Joaquin, all scoreless innings today. So good to see contributions out of some of the younger pitchers today. And again, for the most part, the Cubs kept their A lineup in there. I mean, they had Terrio, Bird, Derek Lee, Ramirez, Nady, Soriano, Baker, a good role player in there, and the Giants able to cash in.
Pusadis did a nice job. He ran into some trouble with a couple of hits allowed, but then got a double play ball to get out of it. And also, Edlifson, some trouble with his command, but picked up a couple of strikeouts to strand 2 aboard. The Giants pitchers, they're going well. The hitters are going well. It's the reason they've only lost once so far.
Well, they're going to try and keep this thing going. Tomorrow we'll be back on the web. The Giants and Mariners from Scottsdale tomorrow for Seattle. Right-hander Ian Snell, a former Pirate, without a decision this spring, and Tim Lincecum gets a second start this spring. Both actually now will be against his hometown team, the Seattle Mariners. We get underway on the web 11:55 a.m. Pacific time tomorrow, and then Friday we'll be with you from High Corbett Field in Tucson, Arizona. Giants and Rockies. Todd Wellmeyer will pitch in that one for the Giants. The Rockies have yet to announce a starter for Friday. Well, my friend, a lot of fun as always, and look forward to seeing packed houses all season long. I know you're a big part of that AT&T Park.
Well, Doug, certainly appreciate the opportunity to sit in with you. It's always a great joy, and I will make sure we're tuning in throughout the offices and throughout the city to the webcast the rest of the way, and look forward to hearing you on Saturday on the Giants flagship, KMBR.
Please do. Again, games on the web. Feel free to join us, Giants Webcasts, plural on both, Giants Webcasts at AOL.com. For my broadcast partner, Rocky Koplik, this is Doug Greenwald wishing all of you a pleasant good afternoon. Again, special thanks to SFGiants.com, MLB.com for putting this one together. Pablo Sandoval's grand slam in the third. Jonathan Sanchez, 3 scoreless innings and 5 strikeouts. Highlight today's game. Giants beat the Cubs today. San Francisco 5 and the Chicago Cubs 1. Doug Greenwald saying good afternoon from Mesa. We'll speak to you tomorrow at 11:55 a.m. from Scottsdale.